Preliminary matchup of the night. 8 wins for Altamini. Muhidinov, 6 professional wins. He is 5 years younger than his opponent.
Both guys started their careers off with some losses because they were fighting very good fighters. They are both outstanding.
With the official introductions, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Pechanga Resort Casino as we kick off the prelims here tonight at Bellator 229 with 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner first at 5'9", weighing in 145.4 pounds. His professional record, 6 wins, 3 losses. By way of Tajikistan, he fights out of San Jose, California, Salim Muhidinov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'9", weighing in 145.9 pounds. His professional record, 8 wins, 5 losses. Originally from Iraq, he fights out of South Bay, Torrance, California, presenting Adel Kyokushin Altamimi. In charge of the action, your referee, Michael Bell.
Michael Bell, our referee, as we get set for this featherweight fight to get things underway. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Here we go. Muhidinov in the blue gloves, Altamini in the southpaw stance. He is in the red gloves. Altamimi's last 4 wins have come in 42, 27, 18 seconds, and 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be what you're going to see. This is a very close contest today between 2 very good fighters. Both have their own styles, and it's going to be who can implement and force the other guy into the way they want to fight.
Oh, just missed with that head kick.
Nice question mark kick by Muhidinov. Altamimi trying to get the fight to the ground and has changed his style from being a stand-up guy where now he loves to be on the ground and implement a submission game that is becoming ever increasingly better and better.
Full guard being utilized. Altamimi, training out of King's MMA. Professor Rafael Cordero.
Watch the fingers in the eyes.
Benil Dariush amongst his training partners.
In his corner tonight. And then you can take a look at Muhidinov. Look where he's at. Mike Swick, and he's got Bob Cook in his corner tonight. So both guys are coming from camps where you know they're getting trained the right way.
Mike Quick Swick.
Let's go, gentlemen. Let's work. Action.
He went over to Thailand, John, and pretty much never came back. Handles the AKA Thailand
Action, gentlemen. Let's work.
school and has done a great job. As I mentioned, 3 wins by submission, as Michael Bell will stand the fighters up. Exactly 2 minutes into round number 1. Altamimi tried to land a knee quite quickly. They stand again. There's that karate background that Altamimi has, and you can see by the stance.
Yeah. Take a look at how far he blades his body. You know, that allows him to do certain things as far as spinning attacks and to go after certain kicks. But what you're seeing with what Salim Muhidinov is doing, he's cutting off that angle, and he's taking away the far side. That's going to give Adel a problem, and that's why you're seeing Adel kind of shooting for takedowns now, dipping his head down, making a mistake. He made a mistake on that first takedown, and he needs to start figuring out this range and getting his back off of the fence so he can compete against Salim.
Trying to put a lot of pressure on Muhidinov early on in this fight.
Go, gentlemen, action. Stop. Let's go.
They're going to stand him up again.
Fight.
Altamimi getting things started here inside Pechanga. First fighter born and raised in Iraq
Let's go, gentlemen.
to
Action.
be on a stage
Action.
this large, a Bellator stage, representing his country, and of course we've talked about the backstory before, the U.S. Marine Corps.
Go, gentlemen. Let's work.
What you're seeing with Muhadinov is he's the one that's in control of his position. Whenever you have a fighter that's on his back,
Fight.
you have Muhadinov standing over him. As long as he wants to stay in front and try to do damage, the referee's going to give him that ability. As soon as he decides to back off or step away, that's him saying, I want this fight to the feet, and that's what the referee's going to be bringing to.
Round number 1, fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
And again, as you're seeing Altamimi move himself towards his left, he's actually taking himself out of range for his power hand, his left hand. Celine just now not only marching him down, just crushing the space, saying, I am not worried about the stand-up game at all with you, and that's going to present a problem for Altamimi.
Nice sprawl to work himself in to the half guard now, with 20 seconds on the clock here in round 1. If he trains at AKA, you know he's got some skills.
Time. That's it.
Live from Pechanga Resort Casino on the Bellator app and also
Second round, you ready? You
on
ready?
DAZN. Round 2.
Hands up, hands up. Don't wait, turn that right over, turn that right hand.
Stop, stop. Time.
Aaron shot early in this round.
Over here.
And just for the definition of those at home, a post-lim is a fight that takes place after the main card. So there would be a pre-game, you would have the game, and then you would have the post-game, thus post-lim.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You can see what occurred is that straight push kick. Yeah, this is where a lot of people will sit there and they'll say, oh, it should automatically be a point taken off. Well, the fighter's throwing the kick, and the fighter who ends up getting hit actually moves into the kick, turning and taking away the blade that he had his body positioned in. So not an easy thing for someone to just all of a sudden stop a kick. You can't do it.
Adele in a lot of pain,
You all right, brother?
as you can see. He has 5 minutes in which to look to recover and have this fight continue.
Normally when you have, you get hit, the ones that end up coming up underneath are the ones that normally are going to cause you problems. Straight in, usually not that big of a problem because it pushes into your pelvic area. But it's hard to ever say how much pain a man is in.
I'm never going to try to guess on a shot like that.
What's that? It's all right, brother. You'll be all right.
Partner, what if he cannot continue?
Well, what's occurring right now is Adele Altamimi is the one in control of the time. He has, because of a foul, there's a 5-minute clock that has started, and he has up to 5 minutes to come back into the fight.
Hey, brother.
He's the one in control of it. Right now, referee Mike Bell is over there saying, you all right? You want to start? But if Mike Bell wants to start the fight, doesn't matter. Adele is the one that's in control of the time. And if he lets that 5 minutes go, then we're going to end up having a no contest based upon the fact that that was not intentional in any fashion. It actually was based upon the movement of Altamimi, but it's in the second round, so you cannot go to the scorecards. It has to enter the third round to be able to go to the scorecard, so this would end up being a no contest.
You ready? Come on, you have time.
I don't know why he's hitting himself in the back right now, but
It's been 3 minutes since the kick occurred. Maybe if he punches himself in the back hard enough, he'll think the pain in his back. Salim's happy he's up. And the fight will continue.
You ready?
I like that. I like the fact that Adele's not giving into it, wants to fight, says a lot.
All right, fight.
The things that Adele Altamimi has been through in life are in no comparison to what occurred a moment ago. Spin and a miss. Pretty kick there.
You can see how good right now Salim Mukhadinov is feeling in this. He's the guy that's controlling the range. He's controlling exactly when the engagement starts. And everything that Adele's doing, even that kick he's trying, he's a little bit off balance. That's why when the foot is caught, he's going down. He needs to really start to set his feet and start to move himself towards his right. He keeps moving towards the power hand of Mukhadinov, and that's not going to help him because every time he takes his foot and steps inside of Mukhadinov's legs, he's creating a position for that straight right hand, and he cannot return with what is his power hand, his left hand.
Adele working out of the southpaw stance thus far in this fight, but he has been the one circling on the outside, and Mukhadinov has been the one controlling the cage and the aggressor. Good combination, John.
Right now, even though Adele is in this fight, but Mukhadinov is getting to the point he's becoming just utterly dominant in what's occurring, and he's feeling better and better as this round goes on.
Caught him there.
Yep. And just a return. Little axe kick by Mukhadinov. Adele goes to kick up. Mukhadinov says, no, I want to get this thing going fast again, comes right back.
No amateur fights for Salim Mukhadinov, professional since 2013. Altamimi started training in karate at age 9.
And Salim, right now, Salim is in that position. He's not getting anything that's giving him any problems.
Yes.
Altamimi has got to figure out, I've got to be offensive and I've got to create a problem, and that's what he's trying to do with his grappling right now.
Another outstanding sprawl. And again, it is Mukhadinov who ends up in top position. Just past the midway point of this 3-round fight. Top of the hour, live on Paramount Network.
Nice pass by Mukhadinov, passing into half guard. When you saw the butterfly guard of Altamimi, that's saying that, you know what, I'm looking for either that reversal or that position change, and all of a sudden he tried to bring his leg outside to almost get close, and you saw Mukhadinov bring his leg, push down, bring his leg over. Very nice pass.
Adele has evolved into what you talked about, John, a good grappler. That said, he does not like being in this position because we can see that Salim's got some pretty vicious ground and pound. Trying to posture up once again, looking to throw some elbows.
And what happens is when you're in that stand-up and you're taking a lot of these
action.
shots, and a lot of them are hard shots, they start to just drain you, and then finally you get to a position on the ground where he should start to try to become offensive, and instead you're telling yourself, just give me a second, and those seconds go by, and you're taking more shots, and then you just never do anything with it.
Full control of this fight thus far. Bellator debut for Salim Mukhadinov. Final minute of round 2.
And notice the posturing of Mukhadinov. You can see now he's getting comfortable in the position. There's nothing that's breaking that posture that Altamimi's doing. Sliding the leg over the arm, going to a crucifix now. All of this is systematically breaking Altamimi down.
Adele's in trouble here. Lost the crucifix. Trying to get that other leg free. Potentially get to the full mount. 20 seconds.
Well, good job of getting the underhook with his left arm, but that you cannot get the underhook and allow posturing because it takes it away. So if you're going to get that underhook, bring him down and now start to move yourself into either a reversal or getting yourself up off the ground.
Time.
Adel Altamimi will head to round 3 for the first time in his professional career. Same personality.
Third round, you
They're
ready?
both
You ready?
crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, which I'm not sure. If
Can't stop crazy.
Yeah, you can't stop crazy. Third and final round. Adel needs to stop, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he has lost both of these rounds. That's easy to pick. So he's got to figure out, you know what, I've got to either open up if I want to win this, or I've got to create a situation in one of the transitions where I catch Salim in a mistake.
Adel felt his striking and speed would be his advantage in this fight.
Action.
But Salim has certainly been the more explosive striker throughout this matchup thus far.
No doubt, and when you're seeing Altamimi ducking his head, taking his eyes off of his opponent as he swings his head down towards the canvas, that is never a good thing. And when you're Mukhadinov, you're going to catch that and say, okay, I'm going to create that situation again and I'm going to attack.
That last body kick did land from Adel. Mukhadinov does have the tendency to drop his hand when Adel Altamimi throws the body kick. He just hasn't been able to throw a lot of them.
Come on. Hold on, Salim. Hold on. Fight.
Adel is starting to get hit with bigger and bigger, heavier shots. You're seeing Mukhadinov setting his feet.
And a
Beautiful sprawl.
spectacular sprawl.
Beautiful sprawl. Just stonewalled it. And look at the posturing. He doesn't lay down on top of him. As he's going after those shots, his chest was angled up. That gives him the ability to bring more power.
There was some dude nicknamed the Iceman who sprawled and brawled his way to fame throughout the world. Salim looking to pass.
And does so.
Under 3 on the clock.
You could hear Altamimi's corner saying, show him your jiu-jitsu, and that's coming from, Beneil Delrouche, who's outstanding on the ground. But when you're tired and you've taken a lot of heavy shots, that ground game just seems to slow down, and you don't take the same, chances because you don't want to end up in a bad position, and things just tend to keep on riding out.
Past the midway point of the third and final round, Altamimi on bottom again, red gloves. The newcomer, Salim Mukhadinov, in the blue gloves, and he has controlled this fight throughout.
And Mukhadinov is looking outstanding. Just everything he wants to do, he's doing. You see an Adel grabbing the wrist, and you're seeing Mukhadinov move his arm just by creating a situation, bring his knee in, trap the arm, trap it inside. You got Adel with a 2-on-1, and it's not doing him any good. You're looking and saying that's a nothing. It can never become something. Just let go of that and move to something else.
Good position again for Mukhadinov. 90 seconds on the clock. First fight of the night, Pechanga Resort Casino. Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy, side control. Or actually, does he have a leg stuck in there?
Oh, he's in half guard.
Half guard.
It's okay.
Thought he had it out for
I
a
wasn't going to
moment
say
there,
anything. It's all good.
I saw it.
He was starting to actually slide his hips. You saw him rotate his hips, turn his hips backward towards the head of Altamimi. That's telling you that he's starting to look towards, I want to hit some to the body, and I want to start looking towards a Kimura lock or something of attacking the legs.
And like I said, he's trying to get to side control.
And he's going to right here. Oh, he's going to go. Well, right now we're in what we call quarter guard since he still has a hold of the foot. It's inside, but this is a bad position for Altamimi. Beautiful leg ride. You see Mukhadinov just taking that knee on belly, keeping everything. He's just flowing on top of Altamimi in total control of the position.
When you break down fights, and partner, we talk about him, the first thing you said about Salim, you said, Salim can fight. And we can see it right here, right now.
Yes, he can. And I looked at his record being coming into the 6-3, and I watched his 3 losses, and they were all to outstanding fighters, and he was in each one of those. Made a mistake in one, got caught in a submission. He's a good fighter.
Superior skill set displayed tonight, and a dominant performance by Salim Muhadimov against Adel Altamimi. Fight 1 in the books. An official decision forthcoming. Longest fight of Adel Altamimi's career, and Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Glenn Paulson, scores the fight 29-27. Judge Ron McCarthy sees it 30-26. And Judge Luis Cobian sees it 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Salim Muhadimov.
The Armenian, 17 career victories, 33 years old, 4 years the elder of Anatoly Tokov.
And as you can see, Mike, in the middle of all that, 5'10", 185, it's virtually identical.
It is indeed, and once again, Michael C. Williams.
For those watching around the world live on the Bellator MMA Global app, we welcome you to Pechanga Resort Casino. The prelims here roll on with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 185.6 pounds. His professional record, 17 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. By way of Armenia, he fights out of Heemskerk, Holland, presenting Horacio Darpinha. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 184.3 pounds, the veteran professional. Brings 28 victories, just 2 defeats, fighting out of Stadiosko, Russia, introducing Anatoly Tokov. In charge of the action, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee, middleweight fight, Anatoly Tokov, a member of Team Fedor and the Alexander Nevsky Sport Club, against Team Musasi's Horacio Darpinha.
First round, fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready?
Fight! Here we go! Red gloves for Tokov, blue gloves for Darpinha, who has only been stopped once. That was by rear naked choke back in 2011. Tokov has finished 9 of his last 11 victories.
Where Darpinha needs to be very careful is in the stand-up game here. Tokov is super strong. He's fast and explosive, and man, when he hits you with that right hand, he puts people out. There's 2 shots right there with him.
Tokov, one of the young studs of this middleweight division, always inspired to be around Fedor, and yes, in this camp, Fedor Emelianenko has been training. So not only Anatoly, but his brother, who will fight later on our newly called post after the main card.
He's finding a home for that right hand already. And what you're gonna have to see out of Darpinha, he's got to move his feet. He cannot stay right in front of him, especially with no head movement like you're seeing right now.
Unbeaten in his last 5 fights, Darpinha. A lot of success with Derick Musasi, Gegard's brother, and the team. Costello Van Steen is outstanding as well. But that Armenian connection is what first ignited the Darpinha and Gegard Musasi relationship. 90 seconds into round 1, red gloves Tokov, blue gloves Darpinha. Big swing and a miss.
When you're seeing a fighter take that type of action and that giant swing, it's telling you right now he's not comfortable at all with what's being presented in front of him. He's trying to land the big shot in the stand-up to do something to either create a situation where he actually connects with Tokov and puts him down, or just to create that space for a moment. He needs to be careful, because every time you swing wild, you're open for an attack, and Tokov's going to start to take advantage of that if he sees it.
Tokov with a Bellator victory over former champion Alexander Storm Shlemenko. That was back in October of 2018. We already knew that he was a force to be reckoned with. But when you take on the Storm and you're able to weather it, if you will, you know this kid's got some real skills. 28th professional fight for Darpinian. Oh, he got hammered with a straight right.
That was a big straight right. And this is what, when you're watching someone like Tokov, what I love about what he does is he's so calm and so relaxed, and he knows I don't have to win this fight in the first minute, second minute, fifth minute. I'm just gonna let this thing come to me, and when I get an opening, I'm gonna attack, and that's what you're seeing him do.
29 years old, 31st professional fight, side control.
Not only side control, put him completely with his back flat on the canvas. That's showing a lot of control by Tokov. Crucifix position.
Winner of 21 of his last 22.
You can see he's blocking with his head, controlling that right arm of Darpinian. The left arm is trapped between his legs. He's trying to turn out of it. And right now he can just open up at will with that right hand, Mike.
Bad position for Horacio Darpinian. Don't forget, top of the hour, 4 great fights live on Paramount Network.
One thing I always look for is a fighter that's, when they're in this position, Roy Nelson is fantastic when it comes to this crucifix position. And it seems natural and easier to hit with a punch, but if you start opening up with elbows, elbows cause a lot of problems for referees, and guys can only take so much. You'll see as they're getting hit with that bone, it makes them start to turn their face away, close their eyes, and that's when the referee's gonna start coming in to stop the fight.
40 seconds now on the clock here in round 1. Darpinian pretty much in survival mode.
Well, he's taking a lot of shots, but he's working. Nice big left elbow. Tokov is just completely in control of everything that's happening in this fight. Those shots coming up underneath the arm, you cannot see them, and those do hurt. Those are the ones that'll put you out, because when you don't see a punch, it can definitely stun you.
He's got the back. Final seconds of round number 1. Tokov continues to look outstanding inside the Bellator cage.
That's a 10-8 round.
Younger brother Vladimir Tokov will fight later tonight. Second time the brothers are fighting on the same card. They did it at Bellator 218, part of our bonus coverage on the Bellator app and on DAZN.
You can see Darpinian is not coming. He's a normal orthodox style fighter, meaning he stands with his left foot forward. His right hand is his big weapon, but he's switching now, trying to figure out what he needs to do to try to get Tokov either off of him for a second or where he can open up for an attack.
Tokov delivered a straight right. That was the biggest punch of round number 1.
And again,
gets it again.
You can see how far Darpinian goes back. That's telling you that stunned him, and he's trying to gain space to gain time so he can get himself back, get his legs feeling okay. That's smart movement by him, but it's telling the judges, yeah, that one hurt.
And Darpinian is a guy that we know can strike. When you train with Gegard Mousasi, Team Mousasi, train in Holland, you've got some striking skills to say the least. He got caught in that first round, Big John. As he was throwing a kick, that's when Tokov hit him with the right hand.
And one of the things you're going to see out of Tokov does not want to get into basic clinch positions with Darpinian, because he does have very good judo, a la, a Carl Parisian of the past, who would utilize those clinch positions to get the takedown. Right now, Darpinian's in a position where all the damage that's been occurring is starting to have take a toll on him, and you're seeing him start to just be diminished in the fight.
We have an Armenian theme going right now.
Yeah.
Carl Parisian. Horacio Darpinian, black belt in judo. Spent time training with the national judo team in Holland. national champion in judo, Dutch national champion back in 2005, as we showed you graphically before, moved to Holland as a refugee at age 13 back in 1999.
You see Tokov.
In trouble again, though.
Yeah, Tokov being very heavy with his left hip. Doesn't have a hook. You can see his leg is entwined with the leg of Darpinian. He's just giving a heavy hip ride and starting to land big shots with that right hand.
Rafael Lovato Jr. defeated Darpinian's teammate Gegard Mousasi to become the middleweight champion, and Anatoly Tokov has been pretty vocal, saying he is ready to challenge for the title.
Well, I'll tell you what, with what we're seeing tonight, and you take a look at 28-2, he absolutely has a claim to say, I should be the #1 guy that deserves the shot at Lovato Jr.
4-0 in Bellator with 3 finishes.
Yeah, that's doing good work.
That's not bad. And the one man he went the distance with, Alexander Shlemenko, his top pupil, his top student, his teammate, his training partner, Alexander Shlemenko. We will watch Andrei Koreshkov fight in our main event on Paramount Network. That comes your way top of the hour. Past the midway point of this fight, looking to move to full mount.
Yeah, right now he's in corner guard. You see him, he's still got that foot trap. Tokov just went and stepped all the way across, coming out in side control. This entire fight, he has been the guy deciding where the engagement was going to be held, if it was going to be on the feet or on the ground. He's the one doing all the attacks. Darpinian at this point is a very defensive fighter and is just trying to figure out where he can go. Again, look at the crucifix position. This is where he had him in the first round.
A lot of time to work, partner. 1 minute remaining here in round number 2.
And now he's got it with that right hand, and he's got a heavy right hand, a lot of power in that thing. And even though he can't move his hips, just being able to rear it back, he can bring a lot of power down on top of Darpinian. Yeah, those, see the elbow right there, those are the ones that you hear them when you're inside the cage. You'll hear this almost thumping of a baseball bat hitting something solid. It just alters your perception of, a guy can only take so much of that, and that's what you're seeing right now with referee Jason Herzog.
And he may stop this fight.
And see, you hear him yell,
move. It is all over! Anatoly Tokov moves to 5-0 inside the Bellator cage. Just keeps getting better and better.
He's fighting smarter and smarter, especially in the fact that he's not trying to press the fight. He's letting the fight come to him, and he's making great decisions. Take a look at the crucifix here. Traps the arm with the knee. He's already got the other arm with his head basically trapped, so Darpinian cannot block any shots. You can see where both of his arms are at. Not a good position to be in. And then out comes the elbows. The heavy elbows start raining down. Referee Jason Herzog, and this is what I was talking about. When you're the referee and you're inside and you're hearing this, you hear that basic smacking of hard object against hard object, and it tends to make the referee say you can only take so many of this before I'm going to stop the fight. It was actually a very good call by Jason Herzog and a beautiful win for Tokov.
We go back to that phrase used so often: a fighter needs to have the ability to intelligently defend himself.
Hard to do that without your hands.
You got that right. And an ultra impressive performance by Anatoly Tokov. Michael C. Williams will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Jason Herzog waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes officially. 4 minutes, 38 seconds, round number 2, the winner by TKO, Anatoly Tokov.
Our tail of the tape. 6 foot, 6'1", but look at the reach advantage that Derick Anderson brings to the cage. He is a good stand-up fighter, fighting an outstanding ground fighter in Bomba. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
From Pechanga Resort Casino, the action here continues at Bellator 229. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing the blue corner, At 6'1", weighing in 170.4 pounds. His professional record, 10 wins, 5 losses. By way of Brazil, he fights out of Los Angeles, California, presenting Guilherme Bumba. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 169.6 pounds. As a professional, 15 victories, 3 defeats, fighting out of Vista, California. Introducing Derick Barbaric Anderson. And the referee in charge, Mark Smith.
Highlights from Derick Anderson. This is against Zach Busha. He had a very tough fight, always winning in the stand-up, but when it would get to the ground, Busha was giving him trouble. Derick Anderson is a guy that can control the fight with his stand-up game, usually has a very good submission game, and he's going to have to be able to be defensive against Bumba today.
Here we go. Derick Anderson in the red gloves, Bumba in the blue gloves.
Good hands by Derick Anderson, nice and relaxed, looking for his shots. When Derick Anderson feels confident, he can go against anyone. He's got 2 wins already against Patricky Pitbull, a guy that you look at that's going to Ryzen to compete in their tournament, is outstanding in the stand-up game. Derick Anderson is a handful for anyone when he believes in himself.
And Guilherme Bumba, John, happens to be from my favorite city in Brazil, Belo Horizonte. And I know you know her.
I think I know. She's way better looking than me.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
You're welcome. Derick Anderson really controlling the pace and location of this fight, landing beautiful low leg kicks. He's hitting that calf kick. Bumba's having a lot of problems and needs to figure out how he can adjust the distance and range that's occurring, because right now he's losing all of these exchanges.
Bumba has finished all 10 of his career wins. Coming off a fight against David Rickles, in which the caveman walked away with his arm raised.
Well, it's so good to see Derick Anderson back in the Bellator cage. He had a fight with the pavement off of an accident with a motorcycle that he had a long recovery from, and he says, you know what, I learned a lot from it. I'm back. That's a good thing.
Last fight 540 days ago. Of course, when you talk about that, you think about the amazing story of Daniel Straus's return to full-time mixed martial arts. A big combination from Derick Anderson.
Nice combination going after him, not going after the 1 or 2, bringing the kick up behind the hands. Derick Anderson is landing some big shots. Las Cayenos he's coming forward, trying to crush that distance. Looking for his counter shots, which he just landed with the right hand.
I mean, you look at the opponents in which Anderson has faced inside the Bellator cage, as you mentioned, Patricky Pitbull twice, Brandon Gertz, Marcin Held, Brent Primus, Syed Awad, Derek Campos. He's fought the best of the best.
He has been in there and he has shown that he is a junkyard dog. He's that California kid that looks like he's just a surfer and he's your worst nightmare. He's loading up on these shots. That one right hand by Bumba, it gave a little cut under his left eye.
Anderson said, and I quote, "I have the striking advantage in this fight." Accidental eye poke.
Come over here. The outlet's clear. You got to cut underneath of it. I'm going to give you a little time, okay? Let's give it a little time to recover, and let's see if we need to bring the doctor in, okay?
Replay to see if we can see. It's just the swipe of the hand coming down, catches the lower lid.
Bumba.
That's what bothered Derick Anderson.
Look.
He's right. You can see the redness in his eye.
Okay. All right. I know it's inadvertent. Just got to be careful.
Was not intentional by nature. Is just trying to keep it the distance.
How's your vision? A little blurry?
Yeah.
Okay. Just take a second. You want to see the doc?
I think it'll be okay.
You want to see the doc?
No, it's ain't man.
Okay, inadvertent. So, you ready to go?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait a second. It's coming. It's coming.
All right, let me know when you're good.
And you can see the fingers just swiping across the eye, and you can see the reaction right away. You see the eye closing up with Derick Anderson.
All right.
1 second. 1 second.
Referee Mark Smith trying to give him time. He should bring in the ringside physician because Mark Smith is not a doctor, and there may be something else that is wrong with the eye that a doctor at least can look at. That would be a smart thing for him to do, and it also brings a little bit more time in the equation, so Derick has more time.
Up or fist.
And he decides not
Time
to.
in. Fight. Watch the fingers. Up or fist.
The battle continues. Double jab followed up by a straight right.
How many times have you seen a double jab in MMA other than
Both
a guy named
guys. Watch the
GSP?
fingers.
Yes,
Let's go.
indeed.
Watch the fingers.
Sometimes he doesn't even need to follow up with that straight right.
Beautiful jab, straight, knock Bomba's head back. This is exactly where Guilherme wants to be, in the top position.
Bomba has been training partner with Joe Schilling quite often over the past 3 years.
He's got an outstanding ground game. His striking has really come along. You know, when he first started in MMA, striking was not his strong suit. Beautiful position. He's got that arm, and he's got the ability to take that arm. Good movement by Derick Anderson coming out of that.
Good pace set by Derick Anderson in his long-awaited return.
A lot going on here. You see Derick Anderson getting those hands together. Now what he needs is, instead of his back being bowed and bent, he needs to suck his hips up into his opponent. When he sucks his hips, there comes the takedown.
Bomba, a black belt in kickboxing, a very highly decorated black belt in Brazilian.
That arm is in a bad position. Needs to step through. Nice job by Derick Anderson.
And a good knee on the way up.
Stop.
Here's that jab, stiff jab. Down the middle, right hand touching the chin. Comes back with the left hook. Derick Anderson throwing in combinations. Again, look at that, nice stiff jab. All those nice three-punch combinations.
Well, fight.
Round 2. Big John, round 1.
Round 1 easily goes to Derick Anderson, 10-9.
Bomba in the blue gloves, the barbaric. Derick Anderson in the red gloves, hoping to earn his 7th Bellator victory.
One of the things I was wondering about Derick Anderson in this fight is if it got into the second, third round, how was his conditioning? Was he going to come out and kind of be a little bit amped since he hasn't been in the cage for a while, but he looks good right now.
He would love to earn a finish. His last came January 16, 2015 against Danny Navarro right here inside the Pechanga Resort Casino. As I mentioned, Bomba has finished all 10 of his career victories.
And you can see the difference in the positions of both fighters. Derick having his hands down low, Bomba keeping his hands up in the more traditional, keep his hands up to protect his chin.
Big swing.
Big swings. It's obvious that when Derick Anderson is open, Bomba has the ability to touch that chin. He can put him out, but when he's swinging with his hands down from his hips, sometimes it's very difficult when you have your hands up high to see the start of that punch, and all of a sudden it's there before you realize it.
Keep an eye on that, because Derick is really throwing wide, John.
He is throwing wide, but he's throwing with a lot of heat. He's putting a lot into these shots, and that can gas you.
The only time Derick Anderson has been stopped was 5.5 years ago. That was by triangle choke. Marcin held in the second round.
Trying to lock up the guillotine choke, but he does not have the position right now for that to be effective where he's at. A lot of people have been submitted by a guy named Marcin Held. And it's not something to feel bad about. That is a leg lock master.
Bomba, an equal opportunity finisher. 5 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission. Just past the midway point of this 3-round fight.
This is where Bomba needs to be, but he needs to be smart about give up your hands. If you have something, pull yourself back, keep the position. You don't want Derick Anderson to come out on top, which is exactly what he does. Right now it's a high guard. It's not a triangle position, but he's searching for it. He's looking to bring that leg across, set up either the arm bar or the triangle. He's got the legs in the position where he can do it. Derick needs to be careful about leaving one hand in, one hand out. He needs to push through that guard just like he's doing right now.
.90 seconds. Round 2. Round 1 going to Derick Anderson. 8 days from tonight on Paramount and DAZN. We head to Milan, Italy for a clash in the light heavyweight division as the former champion, Rafael Cavallo, moves up to middleweight to test his skills against top contender Vadim Nemkov. That's next Saturday at 9 p.m. on Paramount Network. We've got Bellator Kickboxing. We've got Milan, Europe, which features Melvin Manhoff, and then our Paramount DAZN show. Going to be a busy day, going to be a great time in beautiful Milan, Italy. So buckle up and just watch all day, basically.
There you go. Derick Anderson posturing, trying to bring down heavy shots. Jeremy needs to start thinking about either I got to control that posture and set up some submissions or get myself out of here, because right now he's the guy that's taking shots. He needs to think about, I have got to get out of this position. I can't have Derick on top of me just opening up, landing shots. That's what he's trying to do right now. I like to see it. Go for it. Don't sit there. Create the scramble. Create that transition.
Final seconds of round 2.
Stop. Round. Third round, okay? Third round. All right, guys, third round. Fight's on.
Third and final round. Bomba in the blue, Anderson in the red. Derick Anderson again, John?
Yep, 10-9, Derick Anderson. I got Bomba down 2 rounds. He's got to do something special in this round if he wants this fight.
Bomba said he began training at age 16 in jiu-jitsu because I was skinny and I wanted to be strong. Fair enough.
Okay.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, 2-time member of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu national team.
That was just a hard shot Derick Anderson landed on Mascarenos there. That landed not in a good spot. Landed more towards the middle of his forehead, but still had impact. Nice hook.
Bomba, never been stopped.
That is not what we would call a good takedown attempt. Just dropping his at the waist. You want to change levels with your legs.
As you were breaking this one down with me, partner, you talked about the fact that if this was mostly a stand-up battle, it would certainly favor the man with a nickname, the Barbarian.
Yeah, he's just got, you know, a longer reach, better technical stand-up, and he's good at throwing those combinations. When you're watching, you know, Guillermo Bomba fight, he throws a lot of singles, and those singles are easily dealt with. It's when the guy is coming with those multiples that life becomes different.
Bomba's got to go to work here.
Well, he does, but all these shots are starting to have an effect. And it's like after you're getting hit and you're feeling them, you just don't want to take that chance to have that next one do the same thing. So he's starting to slow down, hesitate. Once you start to hesitate in the fight world, you're getting beat. You can see the feints that Derick Anderson is throwing. Bomba is starting to react to all of them. That's just going to open up the striking game for Derick Anderson. He just winged that one out of the park with the right hand.
Past the midway point of the third and final round. Good jab.
See, when you watch it, Bomba throws that kick, just not a lot of power on it. So that's what gives a fighter confidence. Derick Anderson feels like, goes, oh, you're getting tired, you're weak, and now I'm going to start to
flying knee.
Big right hand.
I feel like when Derick Anderson hits Bomba, he's sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry at all.
Good sprawl.
Very nice, controls the arm, so Bomba has to try to pull guard out of the position. You saw the last time that he was on his back, he wasn't able to bring up much as far as attacks on Derick Anderson to see what he can do from here. He's got a good block on the leg. Derick Anderson needs to be careful, figure four, just like you're seeing him do with his legs right there. Figure four that, don't allow him to have that leg. Sit back up right now, come on top, now start landing shots.
Derick Anderson looks spectacular, especially after this long layoff. But he's a guy, John, who you said is kind of sailed under the radar.
He really does. You know, a guy that has a lot of talent and has had those fights where you go, he's gonna move to the next level, and then he loses a close split decision or something like that in that next fight that's gonna get him there.
Right.
So this is a great comeback fight, great performance showing, hey, I still have the power in my hands. Hey, I'm still a guy that, you know, people are going to be afraid to be on their feet, to deal with, and on the ground, I'm still a nightmare as far as you're not going to submit me. I know what I'm doing, and if I get on top of you, I'm going to pound you out.
He's been dominant tonight.
Up or down, up or down.
Had a split decision loss in this building against the former champ Brent Primus. Fought at the Forum against Derek Campos, a fight that you ref. 10 seconds away from Bellator victory number 7.
Stop time.
Bomba with that outstanding jiu-jitsu game, unable to battle in that area, and that favored Derick the Barbaric.
I want to. No, I didn't.
Uh-oh, something is going around the waist of Derick the Barbaric.
How good is that?
That is awesome. That's a huge moment right there.
Be a part of the team.
People have no idea how much work goes into that one moment. Derick Anderson getting his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That is a special, special moment to him.
Congratulations, Derick Anderson. He is now a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Watch the left hands. Just nice, stiff jab. Comes back a second time with it. The big strikes was the big difference here. Derick Anderson unloaded with some heavy, heavy hands, making it to where in the end, Bomba was just unable to continue that pressure forward. Great win for Derick Anderson here.
To make it official, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges Glenn Paulson, David Rathgeber, and Larry Landless all have it the same 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Derick Anderson.
Here live from the Pechanga Resort and Casino, our tale of the tape for this welterweight matchup. One of 3 men in collegiate wrestling history to go unbeaten in their career, 5-0, Joey Davis against Jeff Peterson.
You look at 5-0 there, it'd be 133-0 as a collegiate wrestler in college, but that's a huge reach advantage for Joey Davis, whose stand-up is just getting better and better.
The great Cael Sanderson and Marcus Levesser, the other 2 men to achieve that unbeaten record in their collegiate wrestling careers. And Joey Davis has been outstanding.
That was his last fight right here.
Yeah.
Marcus Anthony, look at the hands on Joey Davis. I did Joey Davis' first fight, and he was a wrestler. And now Joey Davis is a mixed martial artist that is dangerous.
Michael C. Williams will introduce our next combatants.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here from Pechanga Resort Casino, we'll go now. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 169.2 pounds. His professional record 10-6. He fights out of San Diego, California. Introducing Jeff, the Administrator Peterson. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner. At 5'11", weighing in 169.3 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 5-0. He fights out of Compton, California, presenting Joey Black Eyes Davis. In charge, your referee, Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg, our referee. Jeff Peterson, and I quote, said, "I've never been in a boring fight. If you're looking to see someone bite down and throw some leather, this fight is for you." Taking on 5-0, Joey Davis. Peterson in the blue gloves, Davis in the red gloves. 3 first-round finishes for Black Ice, all by knockout, including the one John just talked about in his last fight against Marcus Anthony.
And he's had several different types of knockouts with his hands, knockouts with his kicks. Had a beautiful spinning kick to the body against Butler that was just, Ian Butler hit him with a shot, could not move, frozen. Joey Davis is learning how to be good everywhere. And when you can't out-wrestle him, the only way you can put him down is with a big shot, and now his stand-up is so good, he's hard to hit.
And for a kid with so much talent and so much potential, he is so much a professional, and this is so over just like that. Don't be cocky, fight with intelligence, and it is all over. Another first-round knockout for Joey Davis.
Check this out, Mike. This is why I said Joey is now the complete. Look at the knee come right up the middle. That hit flush. You can see Peterson is out and going down. Goes after the punch. Referee Frank Trigg there to stop it. This was a beautifully timed knee. You can see how hard it hit the administrator. No, watch how fast. Up. That's how you do it. Nice win for Joey Davis.
Partner, you were just talking about how he has had those knockouts in different fashions. Elbow, spinning back kick, now over the top right. Now he's got a flying knee and another victory, 6-0. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end officially. 1 minute. Round number 1, the winner by knockout, still undefeated, Joey Blackhouse Davis.
1 minute is all it took. Joey Davis will visit with Big John McCarthy.
I'm just a lot slower than you. That's why you had to wait on me coming in here. I'm here with your winner, Joey Davis. Joey, we were just talking about your evolution as a mixed martial artist. You came into MMA as a wrestler. You are now knocking people out with your hands, your feet, and now your knees. Talk me through that win.
First and foremost, I just want to thank God, my coaches, especially Antonio McKee. He put everything into me. I want to thank my training partners at Team Body Shop, especially AJ, and all my family that came to support me. This is for them. And another person I want to give a shout out to is Zion Clark. He's a very inspirational person in my life, and that's what I got the W for.
Well, you got a W. You hit him with that knee. You timed it so well. Inside this cage, where's your confidence level at now?
It's high. It's getting there. You know, I'm getting better and better each step I take in the ring. I'm just here, baby. Where's the money?
Watch right here up on the screen. Walk me through that one.
It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I knew that he was watching the wrestling, so I just wanted to keep my face going, my face coming, and I just wanted to do something that's spectacular for the fans, especially for Bellator. So hopefully this was a good one for them to let them know that I'm working.
Well, you did something spectacular. I want to congratulate you on an outstanding win. 6-0, Black Ice, Joey Davis.
Moving ahead, our tail of the tape for this next matchup comes at 185. Johnny Eblen against Mauricio Alonso.
Soldier Boy Johnny Eblen, 27 years of age, outstanding and mean wrestler out of Missouri, who has produced a ton of big-time mixed martial artists like Michael Chandler, Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren, and Johnny Eblen is the next rendition.
He is set to face off against the 39-year-old, born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, fighting out of Fremont, California, which is what Michael C. Williams will tell us again in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, now inside the Bellator cage at the 229 post limbs, we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 184.6 pounds, his professional record 13 wins, 7 losses by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He fights out of Fremont, California, Mauricio Alonso. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 185.9 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 5-0. He fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Introducing Johnny Soldier Boy Eblen. In charge, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee. King Mo amongst those in the corner of Johnny Eblen tonight.
That's a big advantage right there.
You got that right. Against 39-year-old Mauricio Alonso. His last appearance inside the Bellator cage was against Josh Koscheck at Bellator 172, and the finest referee in the history of mixed martial arts was there that night.
This was his fight against Josh Koscheck. I was the referee, so I remember it well.
I said that.
And he landed some big shots, finally putting it out on Josh. Josh had no idea where he was at. That was the biggest win of Mauricio Alonso's career. Another one here tonight. We do have a delay based upon we do not have a ringside physician in place, and Jason Herzog, our referee, will not start it until that happens.
That fight, John, in which you reffed in San Jose was 958 days ago. Alonso back to face off against 5-0 Johnny Eblen.
First round, buddy,
Doc is in place. Herzog starts the fight, and we are underway. Johnny Eblen in the red gloves, Mauricio Alonso, the native of Sao Paulo, Brazil, in the blue gloves. Came to the U.S. in 2011.
You can see Johnny Ibland, that nice footwork in and out, just giving him little looks. He is a superior wrestler. His wrestling is outstanding, very tenacious. But you got to consider, do I want to go to the ground with Mauricio Alonso, who's got a very good submission game? Obviously, Johnny says, I don't care, I'm taking it there.
I see what you're doing. I'm listening. I'm with you. And Michael C. Williams just made Postlims an official word. If the voice says it, then it's real. Hashtag Postlims here on the Bellator app and DAZN from Pechanga Resort Casino.
The real thing you're looking for here when you're seeing Mauricio Alonso change that angle, create that angle in here, and you're seeing Johnny Ibland just move himself, center himself back up. That's saying that he knows what's happening. He feels those attempts starting to come. He knows exactly where he's at and what he wants.
Third fight inside the Bellator cage for the third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Alonso with a long lineage with the Gracie family, training out of the CSA Gym, Combat Sports Academy. Kieran Fitzgibbons, the head coach, of course, there.
Big body shots with that right hand by Johnny Ibland. Those you can only take for so long. That's why you saw Mauricio Alonso move from an open guard to a closed guard, try to slow that progression down. One thing you'd want to see out of Johnny Ibland here is he's got to start to control his posture. You know you've got the pressure on him to keep him against the fence, and if you posture, those shots that you're able to throw are going to have just that much more power.
He's 27 years old, born in Kansas City, a member of American Top Team, Mike Brown, Dean Thomas, Steve Mocco, King Mo, all amongst those who coach Johnny Ibland. Coached for many years by James Krause at Glory MMA in Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Obviously had some good people giving him some very good instruction. One of the things I want to bring up, Mo Lal, one of the highest fight IQs you will ever find. A guy that sees things, understands the game, and comes up with beautiful plans of how to attack an opponent that has a specific skill.
Johnny's got some good training partners too. Jorge Masvidal, Rafael Cavallo, amongst those who work out at American Top Team, and this is a good start for 5-0. Soldier Boy Johnny Ibland.
Johnny Ibland, he's just a buzzsaw right now on top of Alonso. Alonso's trying to break that posture, trying to slow down the progression of what Johnny Ibland's able to do, but these are some shots that are getting through. It can only take so much.
All four of his finishes, John, have come in the first round.
Well, he's trying to make the number 5.
Got that right.
Right now. He still has a little bit of time. Mauricio's got a lot of skill off of his back. He understands how to try to control that posture, take it to a point where there's not a lot of power on the shots that are landing. Ibland is working against that. A lot going on right now.
22nd pro fight for Alonso. He's only been stopped once. Good elbows. Alonso looking to control the posture of the Missouri Tiger.
I talked about Johnny Ibland having that mean streak, being aggressive, and he is, and you can see it in the way he's fighting. He does not care about what Mauricio Alonso brings in the submission game. He's basically saying, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to be on top, and I'm going to pound you soft from that position, because I don't think that you have the skill to submit. Big hammer fist.
Back on the fence. Back on the face.
Good start for Johnny Ibland.
Jiu-Jitsu, all the guys that are out of ATT, that you get to work against those guys and you see the attacks that they bring, and then all of a sudden you come into the fight and you think, do I really want to go to the ground? You go to the ground and you go, nothing's changed. I've seen it before.
Did you make him feel old yet?
You have to ask Mauricio that. That's just not a fair question.
No, it's not. Round 2. Red gloves for Johnny Eblen. Blue gloves for Mauricio Alonso.
Mauricio Alonso doing a nice job of moving away from that right hand and the power that it has. Move towards that, can cause you a problem. Move away from it, you're taking steam off of it. Smart.
Back in 2007, Alonso moved from Sao Paulo to Curitiba to train with Anderson Silva. He was there for 4 years. He said it was a very tough time in his life. He didn't have any money. He basically lived at the gym, but to have the ability to train with a spider was worth the sacrifice in which he made.
Alonso trying to utilize those leg kicks to give Johnny a problem.
There's takedown. Well timed on that kick, John.
And the real question here is, now that we're in the center of the cage, without the fence to cause any difference as far as I can choose the side I want to go to, I can swing into things. Let's see if Alonso is able to open up and try to attack Eblen with a submission here.
Missouri State Wrestling Champion, 87 career wins at Missouri. Johnny started wrestling at age 4. I'm guessing he took round 1.
I would think so, yes.
I still leave it up to you, though.
Well, I like that. But in fact, we're going to go that you gave him a 10-9
wow.
in that round, right?
Unofficially.
Nice job.
Unofficially.
I like what I see.
Thank you. You're learning me lots.
One of the things that we talk about is you've got to open up that guard if you're going to go for attack. Right now, Alonso opens it up, goes right back to the close, and when you're in that close guard, there is no submission attempts for you. You've got to open the guard to create the angles and the attacks needed. If you're in that closed guard, you're basically locking that person down on top. Now, you might not be getting hurt, but you're definitely not going to be winning the fight. Eblen posturing, nice shots. Nothing big landing, but at least he's showing the judges, I am going after this guy. I am trying to finish this fight. See Alonso trying to bring his arm across, trying to create an angle. Eblen just being comfortable in position, landing body shots, trying to posture now, bring more power. This is the old Mark Coleman ground and pound special.
The Godfather. Working within the guard. Mauricio Alonso, coached by Daniel Gracie for many years, started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 1997 with Ian Gracie, trained 11 years with him in Sao Paulo. 1997, I remember that year.
I remember that year too. Someone started understanding that this was a sport and wanted to be part of it.
And someone's wife told me that it isn't Ryan Gracie.
look at how you've learned.
Right? R is H in Portuguese. Good ground and pound. Hammer fists. 10 seconds.
Engage a little bit.
The 27-year-old looks good.
Final round. You good?
5 minutes remains in this middleweight fight.
Final round. Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight.
Red gloves for the Missouri Tiger. Sao Paulo's Alonso in the blue gloves. Good shot to the body, nice change of levels.
I think Alonso realizes I'm behind this. I need to try to do something. He's coming forward, trying to create a pressure on Johnny Eblen.
Darren Uenoyama, grappling coach at CSA. Soldier Boy possesses a heavy right hand. Let's see if he looks to unleash it here. There it is, right on cue. Didn't connect that time. Takedown.
Johnny Eblen just controlling the position. He's shown through the first 2 rounds that this is not, almost with a can opener trying to open the guard there, but this is not a position he is feeling threatened in any way, and believes that he can just start to open up and do damage. But I'll give it to Alonso. He's done a very nice job of minimizing the amount of damage he's taken with a guy that's been on top of him for close to 10 minutes already, and still not, you don't see any kind of real swelling, no marks. So he's doing a good job of defending.
Which is kind of validating the point that I made earlier, and you can see why Johnny's only been stopped once in 21 professional fights.
Yeah, very good defense. Able to he'll take a shot, but is able to protect himself from taking that second, third shot that's going to hurt him. And so, great use of his skill set, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's just not in a position where he's able to get that submission against Johnny Eblen.
And Johnny, of course, as you've said before, wants to become the next great Missouri wrestler to turn the corner and become a mixed martial arts champion.
Back the head and for the ear.
Chandler T. Wood and Ben Askren. Not a bad trio. Some hammer fists.
This is what happens when you cannot control the posture of your opponent. Alonso going back to breaking that posture down, pulling Eblen down on top of him to stop the amount of power he's able to generate with those hammer fists. Everyone looks at a hammer fist and they think, oh, it's just a hammer fist. A hammer fist hurts. You can bring a hammer fist down on someone with the use of gravity as hard as you can punch someone with a straight shot.
Like the former heavyweight champion, The Hammer, from the Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State University. Mark Coleman. And the late Kevin Randleman, also great ground and pound, former heavyweight champion. Lost him way too young. And there's those hammer fists again. And when you utilize hammer fists, you get the nickname the Hammer or the nickname the Smashing Machine.
The Hammer was a great, that was a nice knee right inside by Alonso. He's trying to finish it off here.
It hurt him.
It did hurt him. Not that it stunned him to the point where he doesn't know where he's at, but he definitely felt it.
Yep, he caught him.
Got to be careful.
30 seconds remain.
Got to make sure he keeps that arm to the outside.
Sharp elbow from the bottom, but it appears it will be much too little, much too late for the 39-year-old.
Nice posture. See that arm just inside the leg. No danger of it crossing anything. It's a high guard. Nothing there.
This one goes the distance.
Nice shot. That shot leads him to get inside. Doesn't really have to change levels much, but drives that double leg takedown. And this is where I'm talking about hammer fists. When hammer fists start landing flush on the side of your jaw, they hurt. They're heavy. They've got all that gravity coming straight down that help them become heavy. You see those shots landing on Alonzo.
Michael C. Williams has our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Luis Cobian, scores it 30-26, while judges Jackie Dinkin and Glenn Paulson both see it the same 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny Soulja Boy Eblin.
Of Bellator fighting earlier tonight, Anatoly Tokov moved to 5-0 inside the Bellator cage. Little brother looking to move to 7-0 as a professional, taking on 38-year-old Brandon Hastings. Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here, Bellator 229, we go now to the lightweight division scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner, at 6 foot, weighing in 154 pounds even. His professional record, 6 wins, 3 losses. Fighting out of Hesperia, California, Brandon, the White Tiger Hastings. Across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner, at 5'10", weighing in 155.1 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated at 4-0. He fights out of Stadihosko, Russia, Vladimir Tokov. In charge, your referee, Michael Bell.
Michael Bell, our referee. Hastings and Tokov.
This was Tokov against Ryan Walker from Bellator 218. It was a good battle. These guys went after each other. You could tell that Tokov had a little bit of that big stage adrenaline dump in this fight. He got tired fast, but had enough to get the win, a unanimous decision victory. And he's got his hands full with Brandon Hastings. I have been in the cage with Hastings. He is a very good technical fighter. Don't let all that gray hair, which is premature, fool you.
It's premature, but he does call himself the White Tiger for that reason of prematurity. 5th degree black belt in karate, a true in kickboxing, a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Hastings in the blue gloves. 23-year-old Vladimir Tokov in the red gloves. Second time the brothers fighting on the same card. Anatoly with the win, as I mentioned earlier tonight. They're going at it early here, partner.
They are. Vladimir's bringing a lot of heat, trying to open this up.
Don't go to the fence. Stop. Time. You grab the fence. All right. Fight.
The White Tiger has one first-round finish. It was in his professional debut a decade ago. Tokov has earned both of his finishes in the first round. Both of his knockout finishes. 2 wins by knockout, 2 by submission. His Bellator debut was his first fight outside of Russia.
And you can still see Tokov right now, young fighter, really pushing and creating situations but a little bit out of control, which can get you into trouble. He's got to learn, just like his brother does, relax. Don't worry about finishing this fight right away. Let the fight come to you. When you get that opening or that opportunity, then turn it on.
Vladimir, obviously, trains with his brother, fights on the same night more than once, and also a member of Team Fedor, the Alexander Nevsky Sport Club, and working on the back of Brandon Hastings here.
And it's a tough position when you're Koreshkov, when you have that fence keeping you from being able to move yourself up. It's not an easy position. Did a good job of actually getting him out of there after eating a big elbow. Hastings trying to work towards a Kimura grip. Tokov on him like Velcro, just all over him.
Hastings able to get it to guard. Tokov, very strong, hits like a truck. Former Dragon FC lightweight champion, Russian regional judo champion, Russian Army hand-to-hand combat champion.
This right here is good for Vladimir Tokov, and he can settle down, relax. Nice sweep attempt by Brandon Hastings. Wasn't able to complete it, but he's showing he's got skills on the ground.
"90 seconds on the clock here, round number 1. As our bonus coverage continues live from Pechanga Resort Casino.
Nice elbow from underneath by Brandon Hastings. Pushing that head down, pushing with his legs, allowing Tokov to create that power as he's driving forward, letting him then come while he throws that elbow.
The White Tiger, he said his business is called White Tiger Martial Arts. He was on Urban Bound's fight team, Joe Stevenson's coach at the time. There were 2 Brandons, so with that premature, as you said, white hair, he became thus the White Tiger. Bellator debut for 38-year-old Brandon Hastings.
Hastings has created a lot of little situations in here. When he's pushing the head down, I always like to bring that hand through on the arm, and you can control almost to what Eddie Bravo would call the 100%. It's a setup for a sweep he has, but it's a good way of controlling someone's posture and putting them in a position where they can't hit you at that time.
Time.
So little brother looking to move to 7-0.
Brandon, you ready? Nico, you ready? Fight.
Round 2. The White Tiger in the blue gloves. Vladimir Tokov in the red gloves.
Beautiful right hand and a beautiful spinning back kick. That's why you see Tokov say, nope, we're going to go to the ground.
Tokov early in his career had a couple of wins in fights in China. Took the lightweight championship in that organization. Then 3 straight wins in his native Russia. Now looking for his 2nd win here in the States. One in the state of Oklahoma, looking for one tonight in the state of California.
Brandon Hastings using what we call a spider guard control. He's grabbing the glove, though. Referee's not seeing it. He's controlling that left hand of Vladimir Tokov by the use of the glove, not by his skill in controlling the arm. Brandon showing that a 38-year-old man knows how to cheat.
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's it. If they don't catch you, there you go. Reaching for that Kimura off the arm here. Doesn't quite get it. Tokov suplex. Nice takedown by Tokov. Brandon's holding that arm, but he needs to think about letting go of the arm and getting himself back to position because he could end up being mounted right here by Tokov. Tokov's in a position. Just exactly what we call an S mount. See that leg to the ground, control the hips. Got an arm triangle in position. Don't know if he's going to get it. He would have to come off to the side to make that thing really tight.
Not going to get it this time.
Nope, wasn't able to complete it. That's all about body position because that body position creates the pressure. If you're on top, it's a squeeze and you don't have enough pressure. But when you can bring your body off to the side, it's the angle and that torque that creates a pressure that now can put you unconscious.
Vladimir Tokov looking very good thus far.
Let's go, gentlemen. Let's work. Action.
Fighting a man 15 years his elder.
I'm really impressed with Vladimir because in the beginning I was saying how fast he was going and a little bit of adrenaline up.
Yeah.
And he's been able to calm himself down. Just,
go, gentlemen, work, action.
You know what, fight smart, don't overextend. Put the fight where he feels like he's in control, and he's winning the fight based upon what he's doing.
He's got his big brother. Obviously, he's got the last emperor in Fedor Emelianenko. He's got the Nemkov brothers. He's got Valentin Moldovsky.
Yep.
Kirill's part of his team. If you want to talk about surrounding yourself with some of the greatest in the world, Vladimir Tokov, you can see why his fight IQ and his maturity, John, is just evolving at such a rapid pace.
Yeah, but you got to think about this. He's a 155-pound fighter. He's got to deal with all those guys. The smallest one's his brother at 185. That's just hell.
He's the nail a lot, I guess.
Nice takedown again by Vladimir. Tokov just showing, you know what? I know that I'm doing well on the ground. I want to put it back there, not allowing Brandon Hastings to open up with his stand-up.
Good transition.
Brandon going for that leg, looking for a knee bar, possible heel hook. Tokov saying, nope, not going to let you have it.
Time.
Here's when he had a hold of Brandon Hastings and he brings him over for the suplex. You see him starting to arch that back. This is what happens when you hold on to that arm. You go for the ride. It's not fun slamming, getting slammed to the ground like Brandon Hastings just took. That was a very nice suplex takedown by Vova.
There's another Russian fighter who's pretty good at that. I believe he trains at AKA.
I think there's quite a few Russian fighters that are
absolutely.
good at that.
That's very true as well.
Brandon. Back up. Back up, brother. Behind the block. Right, thank you.
Five minutes remain. The White Tiger,
Third
Brandon
round.
Hastings.
Ready, Brandon?
23-year-old Vladimir Tokov. Red gloves for the Russian. Hesperia, California's Hastings in the blue gloves. On Big John's unofficial scorecard,
No
Tokov
doubt.
is up. I'll use that.
We got Tokov up.
Yeah.
Brandon Hastings is going to have to do something special in this round or stop Tokov to get that win.
Vladimir, a perfect 6-0 in his young career.
Nice little trick there. Looking like he's going for almost a knee tap and brings the left hand.
Oh, nice. Good timing.
Great front kick.
He changed his timing. That's why that worked.
Here goes Tokov, hands locked. Smart of Brandon to get his back towards the cage. Don't allow him to lace the legs. Tokov trying to pull the hips away from that cage.
Don't grab it.
Vladimir, part of the Russian army combatives since he was a child.
How are you a part of the Russian army combatives when you're a child?
Because he's 23
you're in
years
Russia.
old. Yeah, 'cause you're in Russia, yeah. We've been to Tel Aviv too. They're pretty young over
This
there.
is true.
Yep. As his brother is a master of sport in combat sambo.
Up and down, hips up and down.
They're going to take his opponent for a ride once again.
Was nice takedown straight into side control position. Has the back but can't get the hooks. And Hastings is going to be able to get to his feet. Tokov can drive him back down.
There's just no space, John, for Brandon Hastings to work.
No, and Tokov is, as you were talking about earlier, he's giving a very Nurmagomedov type performance as far as the controlling and the locking of the hands, allowing a guy to get up so he can take him right back down. Big throws, just grinding him to the point where they just get exhausted.
Past the midway point, third and final round.
Hastings searching for that Kimura grip again. You see the hand on the ground. It's never going to come up in that. Hastings trying to break that grip. And this is where Nurmagomedov is so strong that once he gets his hands clasped together, you just cannot get him to stop. He'll let you get up so he can take you straight down. And you're seeing Tokov having that same control here. There is no Kimura that's going to happen if you have both of your hands clasped together.
Good at lacing those legs, too. Vladimir would love to get a finish here.
Back to having those hands locked together. Gable grip, now opens it up, grabs the wrist. You see Hastings searching for that Kimura grip again.
One 1 minute remains in this fight.
Don't grab it.
Hastings getting dragged to the ground again.
Just a smothering performance.
Looking for a switch here. Doesn't have it.
Gentlemen, let's work action.
And it's not, it's just not an exciting way of fighting, but man, it is grueling if you are Brandon Hastings, having this guy stuck to you like he's glued on you. You just can't get rid of him. It's frustrating. It's just a horrible feeling.
20 seconds. Boom! Best one of the night.
That's an exclamation point on this round.
A final statement for young Vladimir, set to move to 7-0.
Time, let it go.
Some outstanding grappling by Tokov. Here he is with that first suplex, bringing him over. He didn't really bring him all the way over the top, or almost lateral, but look at this one right here. Hips in, once he gets the hips in, there it is.
Bam.
Right over the top. Brandon Hastings going for the ride.
That's a Khabib special.
That is a Khabib special. That, I don't care who you are. When you hit the ground, you know it. And for our official decision, we toss it up to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Luis Colbian, scores it 30-26, while judges Larry Landless and David Rathgaber both score at the same 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Vladimir Tokov.
Our tail of the tape in this middleweight matchup. 1-0 Jordan Newman against pro debuting Riley Miller. Riley Miller known as the Pale Panda with an outstanding jiu-jitsu game. Now,
That was excellent.
you like that?
You toss.
Now to our man, Michael C. Williams.
Man, you're getting good.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, we go now 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 6'1", weighing in 184.8 pounds. Tonight making his professional debut, he fights out of Riverside, California, Riley, the Pale Panda Miller. And across the cage's adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 185.2 pounds. His professional record early on, 1-0. He fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Jordan Newman. In charge, your referee, Mike Beltran.
His opponent tonight in Riley Miller.
2-time Division III national champion at Wisconsin Whitewater. Newman in the red gloves, the Pale Panda, the brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, making his professional debut in the blue gloves.
Riley Miller will go for submissions from all kinds of positions, but he needs to be careful. When you have someone that's grabbing hold, you can only take so many shots here. He's got to extend those hips. Don't allow Jordan Newman to use his hands on that neck to control where your head is at.
Riley Miller said he may be a better wrestler, but I am a better fighter. He also said I'm the funniest guy I know. You just don't know how many people he knows. See that? It was me being
I kind of got that. And right here, Riley Miller is figuring, I've got his leg entwined. I have something that I can go after, but he's got to get Newman out of that position. And right now he's showing, I can't do it from where I'm at. So then switch it up and go to something else instead of taking these shots. You can only take so many left hands to the head before it starts to alter who you are. Newman with a really good, solid base coming from his wrestling background. He's going to be a hard person to get off balance.
He's giving himself a little bit of space to work his ground and pound.
And I like what Riley Miller is trying. I like the fact that he's going after this, but you can only figure out, you know what, if I stay with this, I've just taken these shots, I've got to change to something else, and that's what he's doing now.
Jordan Newman, a member of the Rufus Sport MMA team led by our good buddy Duke Rufus, Scott Cushman, Daniel Vanderlei, of course Ben Askren, Pettis brothers, Paul Felder, Mike Big Rhodes. And a good start for the 24-year-old in his second professional fight.
Very nice start. Good transitioning by Jordan Newman. You see Riley trying to move himself underneath, turning the position. Newman just rides him on top, coming back out into that half guard position.
Riley we have as a unbeaten amateur at 5-0-1 with 4 submissions and 1 knockout. As I mentioned, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, David Pacheco, amongst his training partners. Is a bad spot though early.
You saw the crucifix position done by Jordan. Newman being very smart, just taking that left hand. Nice little shots back and forth. He's just systematically dominating the positions and breaking Riley Miller down to where Riley's gonna have to change his attacks. Back to that crucifix position. He doesn't have the left arm in place right now. That's why Riley's able to bring it over to try to block some of these shots.
Newman, born in Minneapolis, looking for a first-round finish.
A lot of power here on some of these shots.
Mike Beltran right on top of the action.
And this is that whole element we talk about. You know, it only takes so many shots before a black belt gets dropped down to a brown belt, purple belt, blue belt. Eventually you're a white belt when your brain's not functioning. You can only take so much.
Can you become less than a white belt?
Yes, you can. You can become unconscious.
There you go. Yeah, he's got to protect himself. You hear Mike Beltran saying that exact thing.
Well, he's trying. He's working. You know, he's in a bad spot.
Yeah.
But he's also not really being damaged. So you got to let a guy run through this, see if he can control, get himself back out of the position.
40 seconds. Round one.
And he starts to just cover like this.
That's it. It is all over. 2-0. Jordan Newman with his first career finish.
Very dominant performance by Jordan Newman. That was really impressive. Came out, throwing his hands, going for the takedown, stopping any kind of entwinement on the leg there. Outstanding performance by Jordan Newman.
Coach Kush, Coach Vanderlee, pleased with the performance of Jordan Newman.
There's the shot, kind of put Riley Miller down. He knew he had a ground game and he went for it with the entwining of that leg, but he was stuck in that position and just started taking big left hands. And all these positions, he kept getting hit with shots. And eventually, when you're bringing both hands on one side of your head, we tell fighters all the time, you start to do that, it's kind of like being Dorothy saying, I want to go home. And we're going to allow you to do that. We're going to get you out of the fight.
With the official decision, once again, we check in with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially. 4 minutes, 28 seconds, round number one. Referee Mike Beltran waves it off. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, Jordan Newman.
At our tail of the tape, as a 2-0 28-year-old is set to take on the 30-year-old representing Guam, fighting out of San Diego, making his professional debut.
Look at the height here of 6'1" for
look at
Sonny,
the reach,
and
partner.
look at the reach.
Wow.
Now, Kelvin is a grappler, and he better get this fight to the ground because in the stand-up, he's got a lot of yardage to make up.
Imhotep is long, and he is vicious here as Michael C. Williams.
Here at Pechanga Resort Casino, we go now to the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 155.8 pounds tonight. He makes his professional debut. Originally from Guam, he fights out of San Diego, California, presenting Kelvin Jatapana. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 155.3 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated early on at 2-0. He fights out of San Diego, California. Introducing Sunni Imhotep. In charge, your referee, Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg, our referee. The Bellator career of Sunni has lasted a total of 44 seconds.
Watch the uppercuts by Sunni here. Last one coming right now. Bip. That is what you call a beautiful three-pack.
Three-pack indeed. His training partner, J.J. Wilson, fights next. Sunni Imhotep also trains with a great Anderson the Spider Silva. Barrett Yoshida in the corner of Kelvin Chetapanen. Blue gloves for the native of Guam. Sunni in the red gloves.
What a grappling career Barrett Yoshida has had. Just an amazing grappler. So you know, with him working with Kelvin, Kelvin's ground game has got to be really top-notch.
Got this one, and then one more. Hashtag postlims. J.J. Wilson, the aforementioned teammate of Sunni Imhotep, is up next. Takedown.
Driving him against all the way across the cage, getting him there, bouncing him off the cage into that takedown. We'll see what Kelvin can do from this position.
Kelvin's last fight, John, was an amateur fight about 13 and a half months ago. He was scheduled to debut here a couple of months ago, but David Pacheco had some weight issues. So the wait now is finally over for Kelvin to make his professional debut.
I've watched Kelvin in quite a few grappling tournaments.
Yeah.
He is an outstanding grappler. He knows his positions. He's very heavy on top. And if he can get to the top position, getting Sunni's back to the canvas here, he's going to be able to have an opportunity of ending this fight. He's got that kind of ground game and submission attack. Sunni's got the ability to say he's got the ability to look for a knee bar here. Doesn't have his legs set where he wants his hips for it to go for a toe hold.
Sunni born in Brooklyn, raised in Washington, D.C.
You see Kelvin trying to figure for his legs to stop any ability for that leg attack to happen.
Both of his wins have come by first-round knockout.
Great job of Kelvin to hang on to that leg, control that, not just letting it drop. Good transitions by both guys.
Imhotep said the most important lesson he took away from his last, which was his first Bellator fight, was not to rush, to pick his shots a little better. He said, I'm a perfectionist, and I want all my fights to be flawless. And this is a guy who won in 44 seconds.
I was going to say, his first performance in those three uppercuts that he landed, pretty good performance.
Be a little bit more patient, wait, and do it in 54 seconds.
Sunni going for the guillotine here. Doesn't have his legs in the position. I'd want to see him to be able to create that same squeeze. He tried to suck him in, and he's going to bring everything together. Wasn't able to finish it off.
And a long height and reach advantage, don't kid yourself, is also a factor in the ground game.
Well, it is, but the best part about the ground is everyone is the same height there.
Yes.
You could have Shaquille O'Neal on the ground, and the height is all of a sudden, all of those elements that God gave you are taken away. Nice step over by Kelvin.
Kelvin trying to work his way to the full mount. He's in the Turk.
This is the kind of fight that Chetapanen wanted. Look at that nice step over right there, and that's what we're talking about. This is where you look at a guy and his grappling ability, and it's the moves that he makes. Good move by Sunni to reverse the position. Sunni should stand up right now. Stop playing another man's game. See how you keep yourself there, and now all of a sudden you're back to defending instead of being in that offensive position.
Gentaponin, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, under, as John mentioned, the highly decorated grappler Barrett Yoshida.
Ready?
Thanks for making it
Ready?
fun.
Thank you for making it fun, partner. Round 2, red gloves for Imhotep, blue gloves for Gentaponin. Little slip.
Sonny making the mistake of crushing that distance when he should have just relaxed. If you missed that first strike, back yourself off, reset. Now you're up against the cage, playing another man's game again.
Which is what he was talking about when he said what he should learn from what was a quick finish. But in the bigger picture, he understands to be successful, you gotta wait. A finish is a finish whenever it happens. And he has finished all 8 combined professional and amateur wins.
You saw the wingspan when we gave that reach of 83 inches. That's 1 inch off of the biggest one I've ever seen in fighting in a guy named Bones Jones.
Yes, 84 and a half.
That's a huge advantage if you can utilize it the right way. But with what we're seeing, Gentaponin's doing a great job of taking all of those elements away and putting this fight exactly where he wants it to be.
Well, nobody in the history of the game utilizes wingspan better than Johnny Bones Jones. Not just the arms, but those long legs as well.
He's kind of made for fighting.
Yes, he kind of is.
He's all right.
He's built for a little bit of success.
Saw Sonny trying to push him off so he could snap himself up to a standing position. Gentaponin, a great job of holding that leg, not allowing his weight to get pushed all the way back. Just needs to think about how he's going to pass guard here or posture. Use the fence with the posture. Referee Frank Trigg saying, nope, not seeing enough. Start this from the standing position.
Closing the distance again. It's the 30-year-old making his professional debut.
Sonny looking for a Kimura here. You see Gentaponin bringing his leg close to it so the arm cannot be brought up. Smart defense. Now he's got the leg. Reaching over with that Kimura grip still. Now it's gone.
And here's corner telling him, John, to stay on that Kimura grip.
Yeah, sometimes you got to know when to let it go, though. When it is an actual attack or something to defend against a position, great. But you got to know when I don't have it anymore. Let me get myself into something else.
Which is what he's attempting to do right here.
Well, he ended up giving his back. Gentaponin now has both hooks in. You see Sonny trying to reach down for that leg, not exactly what you want to do when your neck's available.
Got the hooks in.
Minute 20 seconds. 2-on-1. Let's start escaping. Get that back down.
Calling for the 2-on-1.
Gotta know, I've got to at least control one of the hands. If I control the hands, I'm going to be okay with it. If you can bring one arm to try to choke me, it's not going to be that easy for him to do. But if you don't control any of the hands and you're putting your hands down towards his feet, bad things can happen quick. Nice snap roll through.
Took just that little bit of space, took advantage, heavy hammer fist, big ground and pound.
Gentaponin eating a lot of shots there, but then coming up, getting into the body, See if he can lock his hands together again and get this takedown. Those hands are together.
Trying to utilize that wide base to prevent being taken down.
And Sonny's, his inseam is so long, he was able to drag his feet, keep himself from going down.
5 seconds, Sonny. Let's get 2 more elbows in there. Let's go. Yes. Yes.
Hard elbows by Sonny.
Stop.
Here's when he turned the position inside, ends up on top, and this is what you really like to see from a guy. Don't just sit there, go after him, and he opens up. Sonny Imhotep just going after big shots, bouncing one off the forehead there, another one. Topping saying, I gotta move, I gotta get out of here. Goes.
I've been doing the eyes, you know, because you were in.
Ready?
So you. You were in Inglewood.
And
I was in
Inglewood.
And I was in Ireland.
Ireland. You were in the country,
Ireland.
I was in the city.
Inglewood, Italy, Israel, 3rd round.
Covering all the eyes.
Covering all the eyes, dotting all the eyes.
Eyes have it.
Crossing the T's when he goes back or what. Who's up in this one, partner?
I would say, you know, the real question in this is Katamina didn't do a whole lot when he was on top of Sonny.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of what credit did the judges give Sonny as far as he had 2 attacks in there. How much credit did they give him? Obviously, Katamina, in my opinion, wins the 1st round easy. And I would honestly say I think he kind of got the 2nd one. But I could see someone giving it to Sonny Imhotep.
All right. So Imhotep in the red, looking to move to 3-0 as a professional. Gentaponin looking to earn a victory in his professional debut.
Gentaponin looking just for that right time. The time, his ability to get into Imhotep again, try to get him back to the ground. Up and top. That was the tool he used in that first Bellator fight where he got the knockout. He should go back to it. It's available to him.
And because of his length, because John, we often talk about that lead uppercut being a dangerous strike because you drop that hand to throw it. With the length of Imhotep, takes a little bit of the danger away.
He's so concerned with getting taken down again. He's throwing the ones, trying to just see if he can touch and hurt Katamina, but it's always, again, like we talked about, it's those 2s, 3s, 4s is where you catch the guy where he doesn't see it.
Those punches in bunches.
There you can see Katamina doesn't quite have the energy and the drive that he needs to get that takedown like he had in the 1st and 2nd round.
Definitely an adrenaline dump as he has waited a long time to make his professional debut and fighting late in the card here this evening in Pechanga.
It's rough, man, when your arms are now heavy.
Yeah.
They feel like they're 100 pounds each. And you got to try to bring them up to block shots and you're thinking, man, this isn't the way I planned it.
Somebody just put baseball bat on it.
Nice knee. That is a nice knee. And Imhotep has the ability to land the shot that can end this fight, giving him a win. He needs to be smart.
He has, as I mentioned, finished all 8 of his combined pro and amateur wins under 90 seconds now.
Keep going, keep working, keep working.
Remaining in this fight.
especially since you have no idea how the judges have looked at the first and second round, and you got to say, well, I probably didn't win them. If you're Imhotep, you got to say, I got to do something here. I got to create a situation, create a transition, get myself back to my feet or on top of my opponent so I can do damage. And for the armbar here,
40 seconds.
does not have it.
Close guard. This one, as many of our post-limbs, goes the distance, and it's in the hands of the judges now.
Neither guy right now extremely confident, both worrying about what the judges are saying. Don't blame them. And as the longer this goes, the more you're going, oh my God, what are we doing?
Yeah. Okay, wait, I thought this was going to be an easy one for them to figure out, and now I'm getting a little bit nervous. Yeah. So let's see what the judges have decided. Our decision is determined, and here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your three judges. At cage side, your first, Mark Smith, scores at 29-28. He scores the fight for Jettopamen. Your second judge, David Rathgaber, scores at 29-28. He sees the fight for Imhotep. Your third and final judge at cage side, Jackie Denkin, scores at 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Kelvin Jettopamen.
Featherweight matchup. The native of Auckland, New Zealand, J.J. Wilson, against the warrior, Jorge Juarez. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Pechanga Resort Casino, we go now. 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'6", weighing in 144.2 pounds. He is professional record, 4 wins, 1 loss. Fighting out of Menifee, California. Presenting George, the Warrior Juarez. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 145.7 pounds. As a professional early on, he's undefeated at 3-0 from Auckland, New Zealand. He fights out of San Diego, California, JJ, the Mori Kid Wilson. In charge, your referee, Jason Herzog.
2 wins
Wilson.
in the Bellator. Sorry, John. 2 wins, 2 rear naked chokes.
This was Tyler Beneke. Just set it up, and he didn't even get it deep. He got it on his jaw, creates enough pressure. Beneke has to tap out. J.J. Wilson on the ground is a beast.
The Maori Kid, 22 years old in the red gloves. The Warrior. Juarez is in the blue gloves, representing the Fight Syndicate MMA team. JJ said, and I quote, "I'm going to be one of the best fighters in history, and I love you all."
Well, now that we can go home off of that.
Yes, indeed.
JJ is special. This kid is fast. He's dynamic. He's got an incredible ground game and just comes after every opponent he has been in against so far.
Made his professional and Bellator debut right here inside the Pechanga Resort Casino at age 19. That was the 59-second win over David Conti. And then, John, you talked about the one over Beneke up at the Forum, Bellator 214 in 1 minute and 31 seconds.
Look at this shoulder pressure J.J. Wilson is creating. Nice explosion. I mean, you see exactly what we're talking about. George Juarez explodes to get out of that, and you see J.J. Wilson just allowing it to ride, going after the Kimura right here.
Looking for another first-round finish.
See him now bringing that arm up. Juarez got the arm. He's going to try to control that arm with his leg. Unable to do it. Going after the rear naked choke now. It's over.
It is all over, just like that. 4 wins, all in the first round. 3 by submission. All 3 of those submissions by rear naked choke. What a way to end the night.
We're talking about a kid that we all know. This kid is gonna be special. He's explosive, he's good, and just watching him when you saw Juarez explode to get out, you saw how special he is being able to ride that position. Takes the back, looks for the Kimura grip here, starts to put pressure on him, brings him over. Tried to lock up the arm, wasn't able to, but it didn't matter. Brings his arm across and gets that rear naked choke that he is so good with. You can see how tight that squeeze is. No hand grab, can't unlock it. You are done. It's either tap or nap.
Michael C. Williams, one last time.
Inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke, officially 1 minute 33 seconds. Round number 1 by submission, still undefeated, the Maori kid, J.J. Wilson.
Our tail of the tape for this, our first fight live here on Paramount Network. As I break it down, John, I would say everything is virtually identical.
I did that for you.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. To get things officially underway, here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on Paramount Network from Pechanga Resort Casino. We begin with middleweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 185.1 pounds, his professional record, 8 wins, 2 losses, fighting out of San Jose, California, presenting Tony Johnson. And across the cage, his adversary, out of the red corner, at 6'3", weighing in 186 pounds even, a world-class kickboxer who, as a mixed martial artist, stands at 4-5. He fights out of Los Angeles, California, introducing Joe Shilling. And the referee in charge of the action, Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, our referee for this middleweight matchup. Tony Johnson and stitch him up, Joe Shilling. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Tony, first round ready? Joe, ready? Fight's on.
Here we go. Joe Shilling in the red gloves, Tony Johnson in the blue gloves.
This fight is all about the range. You're going to see that Joe Shilling is the kickboxer, is going to want to utilize a lot of good, strong leg kicks that he possesses and keep Tony Johnson more to the outside. Tony has got to crush that space and get inside of that kick to stop Joe from kicking at him and to utilize his hands.
Joe Shilling, 2.5 months of training on the ranch with Cowboy Cerrone. He says, I have crazy cardio. The weight cut was very simple for him because of that. Tony Johnson, a member of the team at AKA, has sparred lots with DC Daniel Cormier in the past.
And where you will see Joe Shilling, in my opinion, have a big advantage is in the clinch. when they come together, if there's a clinch situation, you're going to see Joe Schilling's elbows become a big striking tool, and he is dangerous with them. That's why they call him Stitch 'em Up. He cuts guys all the time.
Don't forget, you can join the conversation at #Bellator229 on all social media platforms.
And there's the use of the leg kicks that I'm talking about. Joe Schilling can absolutely destroy your leg with only a couple of kicks. He's got that kind of power.
And that's something Tony Johnson said straight out when we talked to him, John. He said, I cannot let him chew my leg up.
Exactly, and he's right. And to do that, Tony Johnson has got to create that pressure and squeeze inside to cut off that distance so Joe does not go towards those kicks.
Fingers.
2 minutes in.
We're seeing a completely new and just a different Joe Schilling when he is in the Bellator cage, because he came into Bellator as a kickboxer and actually, you know, looked at it like, oh, hey, I'm so good with my kickboxing, I can still do that and do MMA, and it just doesn't work that way. And he has committed himself to being an MMA fighter, and you can see the drastic improvements he has made, and you can see how calm he is while he's in the cage, and all of his attacks, he just systematically breaks a guy down.
His MMA fight IQ has grown astronomically. And as you have said before, and being with Cowboy, you can't stop crazy.
You can't, you know. Him and Donald Cerrone are the perfect match. You know, both of them, they fight a lot alike, even though Donald's got an outstanding ground game that Joe is trying to learn. But both of them together, it's the perfect combination of crazy.
Tony Johnson has nothing but respect for Joe Schilling. Had a long break from mixed martial arts, 4 years, 7 months. During that time, he was a professional boxer.
Tony Johnson took a big left elbow, and he's still blinking, having a hard time. Nice stiff jab by Joe Schilling.
Joe Schilling, of course, has competed in Bellator kickboxing. Same with Tony Johnson. Tony won his one bout in the Bellator kickboxing ring. Stitch 'em Up, as you said, John, has now trained exclusively in MMA for the past 2 years.
And when you see, like, the kick that you saw Joe Schilling bring up on that left side, and it hits the arm, that's, you know, it's defended, but Joe wants to hit that arm, because what he's doing is he's breaking down Tony Johnson's ability to use that as a heavy striking tool, because all of a sudden that arm, it feels like it's full of lead and you can't use it. Oh, he got Johnson dropped him.
Tony Johnson with a great counter, and Schilling trying to recover.
Great job by Joe Schilling. Coming inside, now he's got a Darce there, he's got a problem. I'm sorry, that's an anaconda.
Can he lock it down right here, right now?
It's tight. That's a problem for him. He's out. Schilling needs to be smart in how he gets up.
Wow. Big swing and change of momentum in favor of Tony Johnson.
Good job of clinching up. Give him some time.
We've got ourselves a fight. Stop.
Shot by Schilling, but that right hand, it cuffed him a lot, but it definitely hit him right across that connection of the jaw and neck, and that caused Joe Schilling to have a problem. You saw Tony Johnson going after him, 10-9 for Tony Johnson, because he was close to finishing the fight.
In the corner of Joe Schilling, they said, and I quote, you got caught because you stopped moving. Good recovery by Stitch 'em Up, round 2.
It is. The question is, how back is he? Is he still feeling some of the effects? And again, that kicks, that's a smart kick. Slow down that right hand of Tony Johnson.
Tony Johnson, as I mentioned, had a very long break from the sport of mixed martial arts, but he has had a couple of fights more recently. June 25th, 2019 was his last one. He earned a unanimous decision victory. So trying to get back in the swing of things in MMA and training at AKA under Bob Cook and Ron Kelser.
Well, he definitely got back in the swing of things the last 40 or so seconds of that round, because Joe Schilling was dominating that round, had landed all the good shots, had Tony Johnson in trouble a little bit, and Tony Johnson landing that one shot just changed everything.
Tight with Luke Padillo, who trains Justin Gaethje. Johnson has trained with Trevor Whitman in the past, so that's a heavy shot.
Just a beautiful straight left by Joe Schilling.
Both men surrounded, John, by some of the best in the sport.
Tony Johnson's got some whiskers on that chin, because man, it is solid. He took a big shot and just stood there like, okay.
Tony Johnson had a huge smile on his face when we spoke to him.
He did. He was all happy to be here.
Happy to be here and happy that Joe Schilling was his opponent.
Well, he talked about it. The amount of respect he has for Joe Schilling and his stand-up game and what he brings. And he talked about, facing him with 4-ounce gloves. That's not like facing him with a 10-ounce glove or a 12-ounce glove. It's a different story.
Tony said, I cannot hang out in kicking distance. Got to move inside and outside, inside of the kicks and outside of the clinch.
And this is where what you're seeing right here. Tony is not crushing that space. Joe is controlling that space, and he's making this a kickboxing. Beautiful up kick. He's making this a kickboxing fight instead of a boxing fight, and that's why you're seeing him be the guy that's scoring when Tony's having a problem.
Joe Schilling is very long, but more importantly, he fights very long. And some people at home may say, well, of course he does. Well, that's not always the case.
No, it's not, because a lot of guys who, when they're 6'3", they'll actually start to bend down and create this where they're actually a smaller fighter. You saw a beautiful inside elbow. Tony Johnson taking him down. He had said, I'm not going to take him down. I said, why would you not take him down? Well, I want to knock him out. Well, that just went out the window.
Right back up.
And that's the difference in Joe Schilling now as an MMA fighter. He had a hard time getting himself off the mat before. Now he's doing all the right things to get himself back to where he's best, utilizing that cage to help him as a balance point to get himself back to his feet.
Round 2, our first fight here live on Paramount Network. Red gloves for Schilling, blue gloves for Johnson. Johnson 1-0 inside the Bellator cage. That win came in San Jose 2 years, 7 days ago. Schilling coming off a great performance right here.
That was a big win against Keith Berry.
Yes.
Did a lot of damage to Keith in that third and final round.
Great reversal, vicious elbows.
Again, that left hand straight down the pipe, finding a home. Tony Johnson needs to start just a little bit more head movement. Don't give him that stationary target.
No hesitation by Tony Johnson to stand and trade.
You can hear Tony Johnson's corner saying you need to pressure him into the fence, meaning drive him back, put him in a position where now you control that space. He doesn't have that freedom of movement.
8-1 professional boxing record for Tony Johnson. Under 30 now here in the second round.
Tony Johnson's going to need to try to steal this round again, a big shot, because right now Joe Schilling's been landing all of the good shots. There was the one takedown, didn't do anything with it.
Tony's nose bloodied up. Final seconds of round number 2.
Just to set things up with the left hand, boom! Straight down the pipe. You're hearing both guys. Hear the sound of that shot. That's telling you how much steam was there.
Third and final round. Even at 1-1?
I have it even at 1-1. Whoever takes this round is going to take the fight.
Big John's unofficial scorecard, 10-9. Johnson in round 1. 10-9 Schilling in round 2.
Both corners were giving the proper instruction to their fighters. Joe Schilling's corner is telling him, Great job of keeping that distance. You're the guy that's controlling it. Keep utilizing your kicks. And Tony Johnson's corner is telling him, you've got to crush that space. Put him into the fence. Utilize takedowns. All of that smart instruction.
And it was a close space and a close distance that allowed Johnson to turn round number 1 around and steal that one away from Joe Schilling.
Yeah, anytime he gets inside of that range of the kickboxer, now the legs are not really an equation because they're going to be too long. Now he's in his boxing range. Now it's a question of who's the better boxer, and Tony's got power. He's got good hands. He's the boxer. Joe's the kickboxer. Each guy's going to do things differently. If he can crush that space, he can be successful here.
Time. Joe, go right there.
Accidental lipo.
Come right here for me. Come right here.
Oh, yeah.
That was a thumb that went right into the right eye of Tony Johnson. One thing that we have going right now is we have a round that we can go to the judges' scorecards. If he wasn't able to continue, it looks like Mark Smith, the referee, is going to try to give him some time, bringing in the doctor.
Let's go. You can see all right out of that eye? All right.
Tony's like,
All right,
let's
stay here
go.
for me. All right.
I can see, let's go.
Hey, just like we talked about, anytime in here, fingers up or make a fist. All right, inadvertent, so just be careful.
The battle
Come in,
continues.
fight.
First to 4 here live on Paramount
Careful
Network.
the fingers,
Great to be
both guys.
back inside the beautiful Pechanga Resort Casino. Mike Goldberg, my partner, Big John McCarthy. John's scorecard has it even at 1-1 with 3.5 remaining.
That was just off. It did touch him, but didn't land with a lot of impact. Skimmed off the top of his head, but his successful attempt with the spinning back fist.
It's fun watching Joe Schilling put his combinations together.
What's fun about Joe doesn't give a lot of movement, doesn't give a lot of head movement beforehand, but he's so good at reading his opponent, watching his shoulders, seeing when he's attacking, and just gives that little bit of a 2 to 3 inch slip that makes the punch just graze right by.
Stitch him up, the first American to win a global combat tournament.
Oh, he's out! He's out!
It is all over, just like that. Tony Johnson by knockout. Wow!
Elbow strike right here. Look at the left hand slip by, but that left hook starches Joe Schilling. You see him dropping down, unable to control his body. He is out. Tony Johnson landing a huge left hand. That one wasn't needed. Referee wasn't there to be able to get in to stop it. Schilling tries the elbow. Look at the left hook come on the top. It just clips him perfect. Shuts out the lights. Watch this real speed. Boom! That was big.
Joe Schilling knocked out by Tony Johnson in the 3rd round to make it official, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially inside the Bellator cage. 2 minutes, 7 seconds, round number 3 for the win by knockout, Tony Johnson.
That, my friends, is a statement. And to talk more about it, here is Big John with our victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Tony Johnson. How good are you feeling right now, brother?
Oh man, it feels amazing. I gotta say thank you to Joe for bringing a hell of a fight, man. Like, you guys are a hell of a competitor, and that was fun.
You, in the first round, he was having a lot of success with his kicks, hurting you with the kicks, putting you down. You were kind of running away at times, trying to get that distance down, and then you hurt him. But this left hook, look up there on the screen, that puts him down. Talk to me about that shot.
Man, that shot was just, I knew that I lost that second round. He hit me hard in the first round. I couldn't see. I was seeing 2 people. So in the 3rd round, I could start to see again. I knew I had to bring the heat, and like I said, I bring the freaking heat, man.
Well, you promised that there was going to be a knockout in this fight. Congratulations. That was an outstanding performance. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Tony Johnson.
Tony Johnson by knockout. Our tail of the tape for this 118-pound matchup. 35-year-old Kerry Taylor Melendez against 34-year-old Mandy Polk.
You can see outstanding undefeated record for Kerry Taylor Melendez. Good record for Mandy Polk. Kerry's got that reach advantage, and Polk wants to take her down.
With the official introductions, once again, the one, the only Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features 3 5-minute rounds at 118 pounds. Live on Paramount Network, we introduce the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 117.4 pounds, making her Bellator debut. She enters with 6 professional victories, 4 defeats. From Memphis, Tennessee, presenting Mandy Misdemeanor Polk. And across the cage, her adversary out of the red corner at 5'6", weighing in 117.9 pounds. Her professional record undefeated, 3 victories, no defeats. By way of Van Nuys, she fights out of San Francisco, California, Kerry Taylor Melendez. And the referee in charge, Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg, our referee. For this fight, live on Paramount Network, Mandy Polk, Kerry Taylor Melendez.
Ready? Ready? Fight!
And we are underway. Wow, Mandy Polk comes flying out and takes a straight right away.
Showed exactly her game plan, saying, no, I don't want to be in the stand-up. I'm going to come across here and try to tackle you. Kerry kind of fell into that takedown, made a little bit of a mistake in trying to overextend with her on the ground. We'll see what she does off of her back.
2 rear naked choke, 2 armbar finishes for Mandy Polk. Kerry Melendez, a perfect 3-0 in her young mixed martial arts career. Long-time kickboxer, making the transition successfully thus far.
Controlling her posture. You see those nice elbows inside by Kerry. Got a hold of her one right arm. Those feet on the hips are outstanding right now because she can quickly push that arm to the inside, go to a triangle. A lot of attacks here for Kerry if she so desires.
And she's got a couple of decent people around her to work on the ground game, starting with her husband, of course, a couple of brothers named Diaz. Move on down the list to her main training partner, Leslie Smith. She knows a little bit about the ground.
I think she's becoming very comfortable with the ground, and the fact that she's able to train day in and day out with Leslie Smith, who is outstanding on the ground, helps Kerry in being calm and knowing what to do and when she's put there.
And Gilbert and Kerry's 9-year-old daughter trains jiu-jitsu every Tuesday and Thursday.
And what she needs to do is control those arms, using it as a sweep, smart, come out on top.
She's got Mandy locked down right now.
Yeah, but the arm is to the outside. If Mandy is smart and takes her hands, all she's got to do is keep her hands in the center where she has them. Now, when you're getting hit, sometimes that doesn't work for you, but you can't utilize that triangle until you get that arm off center coming across their neck. She's trying to stretch out Kerry by the use of her legs. Kerry's still got that triangle, but there is space in the triangle. You can see where her foot is locked on that. It is below that junction of the knee, and so that is giving space to Mandy Polk to where she's not getting squeezed to the point she's going to go out.
Midway point of round number 1, fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First fight in just over a year for Kerry Taylor Melendez. Bellator debut for Mandy Polk. Melendez in the red gloves, of course, and Polk in the blue.
And right now, Kerry's in a position she can't utilize one of her hands to reach down and grab her shin to pull it into the position she wants it to be to make that choke tight. You see that Mandy Polk has got a scissors on top of Kerry's head, but nothing that is dangerous. Back to the guard position.
Interesting background for the former gymnast, 3-time cheerleading national champion, and bodybuilder and fitness competitor who began training Muay Thai at age 24 with no prior martial arts experience.
Well, you can see that Mandy's a very strong athlete. She's got a strong core. She is in a position right now on top. She's just trying to figure out what Carrie's doing, trying to pass. You see Gil Melendez, Carrie's husband, in her corner, giving her instruction.
Gilbert Melendez, one of the best of all time, former Strikeforce world champion.
You let her go, kick her off.
Mandy looking to posture up here, Big John.
Yes.
Well, Mandy's trying to posture so she can bring strong strikes down. Carrie is controlling that posture. I love the fact when I see Carrie putting feet on hips here. She's not holding Mandy on top of her. She's controlling wrist. Nice elbow inside. Although Carrie is on her back, she is the one that's actually doing the good work here during this round. And if it continues on, she should get the round, according to the judges, at least 10-9.
Mandy grew up in a single-parent household. She said her mom, Nancy Polk, is an OG. Lived in downtown Memphis when they were filming the movie The Firm, which I hope most of our viewers do know about. Tom Cruise running around. That law firm, they were dirty. Good first round for Mandy Polk. Final 10 seconds. Wife Carrie Taylor Melendez, you won that round. Big John, you agree?
Well, I do agree, but I don't like him telling her that. Because he doesn't know, and you watch what occurred. Mandy got the takedown, but Carrie did the better work from underneath her. She tied up the triangle at one point, was close as far as getting it set. She was the one that was actually trying to do things to end the fight. Mandy Polk was not. That's why Carrie Melendez gets the score.
Gil did say to Carrie, one strike and disengage, because this position is the position that Mandy Polk wants.
This is, but you see Carrie Melendez with the underhooks here, brings the beautiful elbow up top. This is a good position. Look at her head position and look at what she's doing, utilizing it like a third arm, pushing a stronger fighter's head over, creating a situation where they become weaker.
Next set, Paramount Network and the Zone. We head to Italy, flashing the light heavyweight division with former middleweight champion Rafael Caballo. The Texas skills and top contender for the Memphis. That is next set, 5 p.m. on Paramount Network and the Zone. Kickboxing on Bellator MMA. Looking at his title. Also, Melvin Manor. Our Bellator on European series one time.
Carrie Melendez with wrist control, rolling it into elbow attacks against the cage, trying to disengage her. This is what her husband was talking about. Hit that shot, nice, knee to the body.
And another John.
She's winning this in the clinch. She's not the stronger fighter, but she's got the better technique, which is allowing her to control the position.
Great utilization of the Muay Thai clinch by Melendez. Began training Thai boxing all the way back in 2005.
And all of this work, this is a grinding, dirty, grimy fight, very exhausting. And when you take big shots, like what you just saw Mandy Polk take, she's getting hit to the body with those knees. You can only take so much where you all of a sudden can't get your air. And you can see she's actually protecting her midsection with her left hand.
Carrie made the comment that this fight contracted at 118, maybe some foreshadowing for her to make a move up to 125, where our champion, of course, is Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. We will visit live with Ilima-Lei Macfarlane with a big announcement here on Paramount Network.
This is where Carrie Melendez has a distinct advantage. Mandy, you'll see, she becomes very square. That gives Kerry a good opportunity to land strikes for whatever reason. And I cannot tell you, being a very light fighter, Kerry Melendez has a lot of power in her hands, which a lot of smaller fighters don't. She can definitely swat.
Mandy Polk coming in on a 3-fight win streak. As Gilbert watches closely again.
That was a big right hand that Kerry just landed. Mandy Polk cannot stay on the outside and just sit there and throw hands with Kerry. She's going to get picked apart.
Mandy Polk looking for a takedown, defended nicely by Kerry Taylor Melendez.
Mandy Polk with the underhook. You see Kerry try to get in that whizzer position with the overhook. Framing out against the head. She has to be careful about bringing both legs together. Right now, she's in a better position. Yep, you'll see her come out of this. Those knees to the body are starting to add up. Mandy Polk's having a problem defending her midsection.
And now a right hand onto the chin of Polk. And again, set up by the jab. It is Kerry Ann Taylor Melendez. And when discussing how Kerry wanted to officially be termed, if you will, she said Kerry Taylor, and Gilbert said, yeah, go Kerry Taylor, joking around. And if you're Gilbert Melendez, you better be careful, dude. You know what? You already are out your league, Gilbert. You better be careful there. You outran your coverage, brother.
Nice left hand, little shot inside. Kerry starting to pick her apart with his left and right hand. Good shots, big knees.
Great body shots partnered throughout this round number 2 by Kerry Taylor Melendez.
Watch the shot by Kerry Melendez here. Right hand comes over, bip. Nice, clean shot. She is starting to get that range in the stand-up.
Gilbert Melendez very pleased. Oh, nice kick. With his wife's performance in round number 2, he said, and I quote, "She is standing right in front of you." Third and final round. Big John has Kerry Melendez winning both rounds 10-9.
You can see, again, Mandy Polk very stiff in the stand-up and squaring herself off. That opens up all kinds of striking opportunities for Kerry Melendez, even though Kerry wants to remain cautious of the takedown that Mandy Polk wants.
Can we go KTM? Kerry Taylor Melendez, you know, is a lot. And KTM not to be confused with Kill the Messenger, but Kerry Taylor Melendez.
Got it.
Mandy wants to take this one to the ground.
Kerry inside with that knee shield. Still in a good position. She wants to control the posture and the hands of Mandy Polk right now. If she does that, she can take her left leg, bring it up, and start to lock down on the ankle, creating that triangle situation, which is what she's going to.
She would love to score a victory by submission here.
Big thing, she wants to get that arm across. You see Mandy Polk, now she realizes, I want to keep that arm to the outside. And you see Kerry trying to push it over. Now it's getting tight. Once she pushed that arm over, it becomes a lot tighter and a lot more crucial position.
Co-main, still to come. Sayadawad, Koichi Yamauchi, Koreshkov, and Larkin.
This is the same thing that we saw in the first round. It's all a matter of, you can see how Kerry's legs are starting to lose that lock, giving space. But Mandy Polk has got to start attacking. She's defending. A judge is not going to give you anything for getting out of the position. You're the one that's being attacked. You're defending. You're getting out. Congratulations, but you're getting nothing for that.
When lifelong strikers, much like we saw with Stitch 'em Up Joe Schilling, make the transition to MMA, it is extremely humbling at first, to say the least.
Oh, because it's so different than being in that boxing or kickboxing ring where the takedown is not part of the equation. And so you can defend in a different way. All of a sudden, when you have that ability for someone to take you down, your defense changes, and it's something that needs to be learned.
Misdemeanor Mandy Polk. 3-fight win streak in jeopardy. 2 minutes remaining in this battle.
Now she's in a north-south position, and what Mandy Polk is trying to do is control the wrist for a Kimura attempt on Kerry Melendez. But right now, she's not quite in the position where she can pull that arm out. She's trying to control the head with her knees, trying to get that arm. She needs to let go of that Kimura attempt because it's gone.
Trying to get a hook in, John.
Don't worry about the hands, worry about your positioning right now. Let go with the hands, get your position back. Okay, at least ends up on top, so although she wasn't able to complete what she wanted, maintain that top position, which she needs.
Kerry doing a nice job getting back to guard, throwing some elbows from the bottom.
I would like to see Kerry go back to putting her feet on the hips, just like she's doing right now. That's all beautiful offensive fighting by a fighter who's on the back. What you're looking for is, well, in the top position, what is Mandy Polk doing to cause a problem or try to finish the fight? And right now, she's just grappling. There's nothing offensively coming from her.
40 seconds remain. We knew after meeting Mandy Polk that she was a gamer. Under 30 now.
I think both girls are looking at Kerry. Nice knee inside. That knee actually came up, touched the chin of Mandy Polk.
Oh, another nice knee. Final seconds of this fight. Really good performance by Kerry Taylor Melendez. With the official decision, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, will go to your 3 judges at cage side. All 3, Michael Bell, Ron McCarthy, Jackie Dinkin, all have it the same 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Kerry Taylor Melendez.
4-0 for Kerry Taylor Melendez. She will visit with my partner, Big John McCarthy.
Come on here, girl. I'm here with your winner, Kerry Melendez. Kerry, nobody wants to stand on their feet and fight with you. This was on the ground. Talk to me about what you were thinking while you were down there.
I was okay. I felt pretty comfortable. She was strong, and I expected her to be strong. So I still want to work a lot on the ground, be a little more dangerous. I had the arm trapped, and I need to finish something like that.
You were doing a great job of not only being in guard, as you can see up on the screen, you were throwing up a triangle. You almost had her a couple times. She stepped over it.
You got it there.
Then you kept opening your guard, putting your feet on hips, and attacking.
Yes. I've been working on my back. I'm going to continue to work on my back everywhere, get better all around. So I was excited for a fight like this. It's my dream fight is a striker, but I want to keep challenging myself against a grappler and a wrestler.
So 4-0 now here in the Bellator cage. Who is it that you would like to match up with next?
My goodness, can they please start a 115 division here? Let's sign some girls and let me fight them. It's hard to call out people when I don't know who signed at 115. I might have to move up, I'm not sure. But I would like Bellator to start a 115 division.
Well, I would love to see that too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your winner, Kerry Taylor Melendez.
Our tail of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. John, both men with 23 professional wins. Syed Awad, a decade the elder of his opponent.
He is, but those records show you how experienced these guys are and how good they are.
Look forward to this one. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA, live on Paramount Network now, presents tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner, At 5'10", weighing in 155.3 pounds, the 12-time Bellator veteran enters with 23 professional victories, just 4 losses, fighting out of Curitiba, Paraná, Brazil, presenting Goichi Yamauchi. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 155.3 pounds for the 20th time. He enters the Bellator cage tonight, bringing 23 professional victories, 11 defeats. From San Bernardino, California, introducing Syed, the Assassin Awad. And the referee in charge of the action, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee, co-main event of the evening here live on Paramount Network. Yamauchi and Awad. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Are you ready?
Fight! Here we go! Red gloves for Syed Awad. Blue gloves for Goichi Yamauchi. Syed Awad said Goichi is like Lyoto Machida with slick jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's very, very similar. And the one thing when you're watching Goichi is watch how relaxed, how calm he is during the fight. What you want to see out of Syed is he's got to push Goichi towards that cage. Make his back be on it so he doesn't have a lot of room to move.
And he's also, like Lyoto, a man who was born in Japan and grew up in Brazil. Yamauchi tied, a 5-way tie in fact, for first all time with 6 submission finishes. One of those he is tied with, we just interviewed, Alima Lay McFarland. Syed Awad was a bit angry, if you will. Not rude, but he had a little edge to him when we visited earlier. Oh, it was a big right hand. In the week, you see we have bonus coverage coming on the Bellator app and the zone. Takedown for Syed Awad. And I use the word post-limbs in our prelims, so we're gonna go hashtag post-limbs still after our main card on Paramount Network.
Syed needs to be very careful when he's on the ground here. This is what makes Goichi so good.
Has not been submitted in 8 years plus, John.
And that arm is tight.
It is all over! Just like that! Goichi Yamauchi, the first to submit Syed Awad since 2011.
This is what makes Goichi Yamauchi so good. It is, look at how calm he is. He ends up getting hit with a big shot. He ends up actually pulling Awad towards the ground where he wants to be. Awad makes the one mistake. He lets his head get caught by that leg. Tight armbar.
Take a look at the finish, tonight's fight replay.
Watch the setup, in guard, you see it, bring his hand underneath. A lot of times we don't want to do that. You see Awad move his head and keep that leg from being there, but when he tries to strike, you see Goichi bring that leg back over, and then he utilized that arm to bring the sweep, goes after the arm lock after he gets the sweep, gets the arms in position, extends the hips, a ton of pressure. You see Awad screaming out. That's a verbal tap. Beautiful submission victory by the master, Goichi Yamauchi.
Who is now #1 with 7 submissions inside the Bellator cage. He does it in the very first round. That fight, Goichi Yamauchi, to make it official, Michael C. Williams.
Inside the Bellator cage, the armbar brings on the verbal tap, officially 1 minute 40 seconds, round #1. The winner by submission, Goichi Yamauchi.
10th win inside the Bellator cage. A huge statement made by Goichi Yamauchi as he finishes Syed Awad quite quickly here tonight in our co-main event. The winner will visit with my partner, Big John.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Goichi Yamauchi. I have learned something. Do not punch you hard because a bad, nasty submission is coming quick after it.
Oh yeah, I will back it up. Don't punch him that hard. I will back it up.
You set that arm bar up. It was the transition that made it happen. You knew you were going to go for the reversal before you extended it. Why?
You know, I train this movement a lot. It's a kind of one of my favorite transitions from the guard. So it's like something natural for my game. So I'm so happy that I could did it.
Well, you were in a 5-way tie for the most submissions in Bellator history. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are now the number one in submissions. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Goichi Yamauchi.
Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. The Spartan, 29. The Monsoon, 33. Significant reach advantage for the Russian.
It is a little bit there, and he's going to want to use it, but look at those records, Mike. 22-3, 27. You know both of these guys are just exceptional.
They are exceptional, which is why they are in our main event of the evening, here live on Paramount Network. And with the official introductions, once again, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA tonight live on Paramount Network from Pechanga Resort Casino. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Commissioner John Carvelli, Chair. Executive Officer is Andy Foster. And now, introducing first the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 170.9 pounds, a former Bellator title challenger, he stands with 20 professional victories, 7 losses. Fighting out of Riverside, California, presenting Lorenz the Monster Larkin. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170.8 pounds, the former Bellator welterweight world champion brings 22 professional victories, just 3 defeats. From Omsk, Russia, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Andrei Spartan Koreshkov. In charge of the action, your referee, Mike Beltran.
All right, gentlemen, over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now if you want. The sound of the bell, come on out, handle your business. Let's go.
Andrei Koreshkov, Lorenz Larkin. Main event here from the Pechanga Resort Casino.
All right, gentlemen, first round. You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Handle, let's go.
Here we go. Koreshkov in the red, Larkin in the blue. Big John said speed, a huge factor in this fight.
One thing you talked about Koreshkov's length, and normally when he's comfortable, you're going to see him fight tall. Notice what he's doing right now, a little bit scrunched down. That's him being worried about the speed factor that Lorenz Larkin brings.
Being crunched down a little bit, how does that counter the speed?
Well, he's getting his legs wide and his feet. He doesn't worry about the takedown, but he's worried about Lorenz coming with those kicks, so he wants to be set so he can counter.
They clinch.
Something you don't see a lot is Lorenz Larkin going for takedowns, and it's a good thing that he's doing it because it's telling Andrei Koreshkov, I'm willing to fight you anywhere, but if I'm going to be on the ground, I'm going to be in the top position.
John, you asked Andrei Koreshkov if he worked more on his wrestling for this fight, and he kind of said, yeah, well, he said, nah. He has good takedown defense, speaking of Lorenz Larkin, but he did obviously say he'll try to mix things up.
Well, he was definitely talking about, well, I have a few tricks and I want to mix things up. I don't want to just go for takedowns from the outside. I've got to get him against the cage like he is right now. This is, in the keys, I'm saying, Lorenz needs to keep his back off of the cage because here is where Koreshkov is strong. And Koreshkov normally likes in this position, when he goes for the takedown, he tends to go towards what we call a high crotch. You're going to see his hands come down, either one, whatever hand comes off of his back, the other hand's going to come in between, and he's very strong. He lifts up and brings down hard.
His coach, the former champion Alexander Storm Shlemenko. Andre named his son after his coach. His son Alexander, 1 year, 9 months old. Koreshkov in the red, Larkin in the blue. Milan in 8 days. Main event, Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy. Check.
Nice right hand by Koreshkov.
Set up with that jab, John.
Yep. Technically, Koreshkov has outstanding stand-up. His technique is beautiful, and he is just a handful for anyone on the feet. Oh, that one landed.
There you go, right on cue.
He's in trouble.
Gonna finish him right here, right now. Larkin survived, and he counters with a big left.
And left hook landed flush too. Both guys, that's why they're standing there. Neither one's like, they're both trying to collect each other.
Outside knee. Didn't you say a moment ago we got a heck of a matchup?
I believe this is going to be a great fight because what they bring is an incredible amount of skill level in the stand-up, but both guys are willing to go to the ground. It just depends on which position they're in if they're going to go there.
90 seconds. Now under 90 in what has been a spectacular first round.
That low calf kick you just saw Larkin land. That's a page out of Douglas Lehman. It had a great effect against Koreshkov and his ability to attack, so I can understand why he picked that up.
Lorenz Larkin made his Bellator debut inside the world's most famous arena in a welterweight title fight that went the distance against Lima. Lima victorious by unanimous decision. Oh, there's that spin that you broke down in our Boost Mobile Vantage point.
He technically does it so well. It's the way he'll hide his blading of his body because he just keeps on making this little adjustment. All of a sudden, he's got those feet in line, and here comes that attack.
Lorenz goes southpaw. Look for a little spin of his own. As advertised thus far. Final seconds of round number 1. Koreshkov with a huge strike that landed, answered by Larkin. Round 1 in the books.
That spinning wheel kick, boom! Just landed, almost puts it, but here comes Larkin back with that left hook. That little check hook, it hurt him. You can see that's why he stopped.
Second round.
Kind of froze for a moment and then didn't attack because he's trying to collect himself.
Well, you talked about the speed. How explosive with that spinning wheel kick, and then Larkin connecting in what was a very exciting round 1 on your scorecard. Who gets it though?
My scorecard, Andre Koreshkov wins that round 10-9. He had the better blows. Body kick, that big spinning wheel kick. Not great job by Larkin, just not enough to take the round.
Larkin takes the back. Koreshkov adjusts.
And here, Lorenz Larkin is incredibly strong in the clinch position. He's got good knees and stuff, but he doesn't want Andre to be able to turn his back, and that's the problem when you decide to stay there. you've got to now deal with the fact that Koreshkov's grappling, his clinch work is outstanding.
Lorenz Larkin, when he got caught, as he put it by Paul Daly, said, I made the slightest mistake, and that's all it took. The back fist caught me. He said, I'd never been so angry. I thought I dipped. I just didn't dip far enough. Since that point, he has back-to-back victories, looking to make it 3 in a row against the former champion.
I think Lorenz Larkin has the impression that Koreshkov is starting to get a little bit wind, a little bit tired, so he's wanting to kind of be in this clinch position and make him work past that comfort zone.
His corner alluded to that when we were in commercial break. This fight previously scheduled as our main event right here inside the Pechanga Resort Casino back at Bellator 219. Don't forget, bonus coverage still to come on the Bellator app and the zone #postlet.
Saw Koreshkov was thinking about giving a spinning elbow on that break, decided not to. Now you're seeing Lorenz Larkin starting to push that pace. He's pressing, he's the one pressuring, and if you remember I said Koreshkov needed to be the one pressuring. If Lorenz Larkin is able to control this position of pace, he's got a very good chance of coming out the winner in this fight.
17th Bellator fight for Koreshkov. That low calf kick does more damage. Lorenz Larkin utilizing it very well.
And he again, 2 very nice shots he landed on that exchange. It's the multiples that make Lorenz Larkin so hard to deal with.
Punches in bunches.
When a guy's throwing just one shot, that makes your life easy. Nice hook to the body, brings them one up to the head. Beautiful work by Andrei Koreshkov.
Been a stand-up battle with under 2 on the clock here in round 2. Worthy of note, Larkin has never had a submission win, nor has he been submitted in his career. Big swing.
Big uppercut miss by Larkin. Koreshkov's elbow, it did touch him, it didn't have an impact on it though. And you're starting to see Lorenz Larkin starting to control that distance. He's getting the feels that he likes. Big shot.
Again, the speed, a huge factor.
And in this position is what I was talking about. If you're Lorenz Larkin, you want to be on the ground, good. You've got to be in the top position. In the top position, he brings a lot of power.
Big elbows, heavy ground and pound. Looking for the finish right here, right now.
Still a lot of time, Mike.
Larkin being patient and being disciplined. Knee to the body, well done.
Very nice, taking his time, picking his shots. Koreshkov's in trouble. That's a big knee right there. Koreshkov's in serious trouble right now. Larkin posturing through that, but he needs to get either both arms in or both arms out. There is no submission attempt right now with what you have. Larkin's in good posture.
Big round for the monsoon. Can he finish it? Final seconds of the round.
In this round, that's a huge right hand. You can see it hurts Koreshkov. That's why he's leaning forward, not able to control distance. Larkin brings up the knee. He did incredible work and beautiful damage in that round.
Enough, John, for a 10-7?
Very close getting there, but it is a 10-8 round based upon it must be overwhelming to be 10-7. That was definitely a dominant and damaging round for Lorenz Larkin.
Third and final round, our main event of the evening. How much was Koreshkov able to recover in the 60 seconds between rounds?
Now that is a question, but he's coming out strong. Is he going to be able to maintain that? because Lorenz Larkin in that second round, he turned the tables and he started pressing forward. He started controlling the distance, not allowing Koreshkov to have that room for his spinning attacks. And what you're seeing right now is Lorenz is going back to being that pressuring fighter.
So with that 10-8, Larkin has the edge on Big John's scorecard.
Yeah, but mine's unofficial, so it means nothing.
It means something to me.
All right, baby.
I mean, your guard was the first I was ever in my life. So obviously I have some respect. It was awkward, but I have respect. Because we've known each other for 7 minutes.
Koreshkov, he's got that deep. You see Lorenz Larkin jump into that guard.
Remember, he has never had a submission or been submitted.
He's got both hands inside on that. It is the ability to, he's got to extend his legs and drive back onto the hips of Koreshkov to make that tighter. He knows he doesn't have his, let him go.
Koreshkov on top. 3 minutes on the clock. What a main event. And at the end of the month, from the Mohegan Sun Arena, Rory McDonald and Douglas Lima will fight once again with the belt on the line. The finals of the welterweight World Grand Prix. The winner walking away with $1 million.
See Larkin bringing his back towards the cage. Koreshkov doing it right. He's trying to lace those legs into a figure four, but he's not able to do it. That's keeping his hands on the ground. This is a good thing for Lorenz Larkin. He just needs to continue to press down on the head, create the situation where he can get his knee to the ground and get himself back to a standing position. You're seeing that Koreshkov has got at least one leg. That's going to keep him from being able to be in a stand-up where he's comfortable.
Andre definitely did a good job of recovering from the damage inflicted upon him in round number 2.
He's got his hands together. One of the things in MMA that makes it very difficult is wrestling actually took the ability to lock your hands because it's so hard to break someone's hands, but in MMA, that's legal. And so if you get your hands locked, the guy's got to now break that lock. That's what Lorenz Larkin is trying to do right now.
7 fights still to come live from the Pechanga Resort Casino. Bellator app in the zone. 90 seconds remains here in our main event of the evening.
Nice work by Lorenz turning into him. He still needs to get that underhook deeper for him to start to have the ability to change his position. You see Andre Koreshkov still has both of his hands locked around the body and arm. Now they're broken. We've seen Lorenz Larkin in the past when someone's trying to go for a switch. When someone gets a single leg on him, he opens up with big strikes in trying to stop what they're doing.
Not grab the fence.
And in this position, what's occurring is Koreshkov is out wrestling, if you want to say, okay, yeah, he's out wrestling Larkin, and Larkin is out fighting Koreshkov.
And that 10-8 is a huge factor.
You're seeing Koreshkov still working on the wrestling, but every time Larkin at least opens up, starts to hit him with an elbow, hit him with a strike, the judge is going to start to lean towards Larkin because he's fighting and Koreshkov isn't. The takedown, but now what can he do with it?
Final seconds. This action-packed main event is going to go the distance. And the crowd here inside Pechanga Resort Casino loves it.
Perfect.
We will be back with our official decision. That is coming up next.
Every minute of it.
Larkin, Koreshkov. Plenty of action to look at, partner.
Here comes the knee from, nice kick, big right hand. Here comes that knee that he hits him with inside. Beautiful knee by Lorenz Larkin. That was solid, almost had him out. There's that spinning wheel kick. Boom, comes after him, but Larkin's able to recover, get himself back, and lands a beautiful left check hook right here. Puts Koreshkov back a little bit. These guys just went after it.
There's John's scorecard. He's got the Monsoon with the victory.
I do. The last 2 rounds, obviously 10-8 in the second, but that last one, I had one fighter who is wrestling and one fighter who is fighting. This is MMA. You need to do something. If you're going to wrestle, you've got to at least go after the submission or go after the strikes to finish it off.
Judges are rendering their official decision. The Storm. The Monsoon. The Spartan putting on a show tonight. All right, let's find out who's going to be popping a bottle of La Chemin Duois. Here is Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Michael Bell, scores the fight 29-28. He scores the fight for Larkin. Your second judge, Ron McCarthy, scores the fight 29-28. He sees the fight for Koreshkov. Your third and final judge at cage side, Luis Cobia, sees the fight 29-28 for the winner. By split decision, the Monsoon, Larkin.
So it is the Monsoon, Lorenz Larkin, popping a bottle of La Chemin Duois. And now he will visit with Big John.
I am here with your winner, the Monsoon, Lorenz Larkin. Lorenz, that was an outstanding fight. I want to talk about the first round. The wheel kick that hit you, how hurt were you?
Yo. Real shit, John. Something happened, I seen a flash, and I was just like, I don't know what it was, but it was like, you better, we're on TV. You better get the F up. And I was like, oh man, that's like, start working, man.
You did work, you hit him with the hook. The second round, I believed you were dominant. I thought it was a 10-8 round for you. I thought you almost had him out in the fight. What were you thinking?
You know what, man? I got some of the best coaches in the game, and my coaches don't lie. When I came back to the corner of the first round, my coaches were just straight up with me. Said, we don't think you got that round. And you know, and fighters need stuff like that. And I had to snap into it, man. I'm fighting in front of all my hometown, my friends, my family, people that I've met. Hey, I wish you guys could have been at some of my other fights, so I would have just woke up and been like, oh. No, but you know, I'm pumped, man. We're in Temecula. This is close to my hometown, and we're all family. All these people you hear here know each other one way or another. I love it here.
We have a Grand Prix final coming up with Rory McDonald against Douglas Lima. If given the opportunity to fight, you've already fought Lima, you haven't fought McDonald. Who is it you would like to fight?
Oh, I gotta fight Lima. You know, he gave me an L. I gotta get that back.
I would love to see that. I want to congratulate you on a fantastic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Monsoon, Lorenz Larkin.
By far his best performance inside the Bellator cage.